So, welcome to session 46. Previously, you had followed Tyrande to the Red Carpentry Guild, which you discovered was a meeting place of the Grey Cult. You managed to take out the Grey Cult and the Chaos Altar, but blew up the building in the process. You met Jared and reported on the Grey Cult. You met with the Nexus Guild on the 16th of Celium, where you discussed the cults. Carl talked about the need to find the head of the Grey Cult, and simultaneously the need to return to Lumev to continue to delve into the weapon. As such, you are to depart for Delsara City in Lumev on the 25th to explore the military district for clues about the weapon. Oreo found information about the Walpurgin, which you attended last night. You learned about a kidnapping performed by the Sword of Justice of Artegia of House Mortau. You learned about a hatchery with House Neilwit fronting the costs beneath the Blackstone Blade. You investigated the area around Bortree Street as well, but have yet to take action. As we begin, it is still the morning of the 24th of Celium. So let me go ahead and take you to Bortree Street, since that is where you were last. Assuming I can find it. There it is. So you had just recently made some plans, and you had investigated the area somewhat, noticed all the beggars. So what do you do?
Okay. I remember we had some sort of plan. Didn't we see that there were assassins inside of the well?
Yeah, if I recall correctly, there were, I think, four of them.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it sounds right. There's one at the entrance, and then three more guarding the captive, and some indication that the captive is in fact in there. But we don't know
Okay.
for sure if there are other people around the corner, because I think there was a back room to that little base.
hmm And we were gonna get the guards involved, right? So we didn't have to deal with all these beggars.
Yeah, so I think the idea was that I was going to pose as some of the beggars and pull off some conspicuous crimes to uh, get the guard on them. And I think you were planning on talking to them to kind of get them motivated in the first place.
For sure.
All right. I'm assuming everybody can see the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a plan. So what are you gonna do?
I'll probably wait till you do your stuff for about 15 minutes. So whoever wants to come talk to the guards with me, I think we can start meandering over.
Mhm.
Okay.
What
So
should I tell them that you were doing, Pico? Or not you,
Um,
but what should I say the beggars did so that if they talk to
oh,
people on the scene, it's not like a complete lie?
um, well, you could say that you overheard the beggars planning to rob shops and try to harass people and stuff like that.
Okay,
Uh, by the time they show up, there will definitely be uh, people having suffered the consequences of that.
all right. So I put you on the map approximately where you are, if memory serves. So you're actually not too far from the Sudaga ward, but you're not actually in it. You're basically in the poorer part of one of the comment districts.
Okay, and where was that West Garrison? Was that number 17?
It is indeed.
Okay. And if that's where we are, what kind of stuff is in this area?
So yeah, you basically wind up going toward some small parks and lots of houses. It's between so you have the halls of learning. So in this section, you can kind of see where the roads kind of section it off. Is some fairly nice buildings that belong to the university. But then as you go across, you get into more of the common district, and where you have more of the buildings And a lot of the empty looking spaces, you'll probably have a lot of small shacks and smaller buildings.
Hmm. But there's like shops or anything that, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything super fancy,
Yeah, I
but
mean, a common district would have some shops. It wouldn't be like a major shopping area, but you have to have shops in the area to, to support the citizens that having to travel an hour.
okay, so how about this? I'll leave Fire Lily with you, and Fire Lily, be nice, especially to Piff, and basically, once I've done my thing, Fire Lily will know and will tell you, and then you should be clear to move. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, my idea is kind of to hit to the southeast, that the guards will have to come through that area anyway, so they'll see some of these people in advance and then can kind of come back. Um, uh, but that way that kind of adds more to their presence in that area. How's that sound?
Okay.
Anybody else got any suggestions or things that might help? I mean, obviously, in a case like this, I'm trying not to get away with things very well, but might help to have some assistance to make sure I don't get caught in trouble.
And I can follow behind and try and help if you have any issues. But I'll try and stay out of the way, Morkid, since we're supposed to be making you the spectacle.
All right.
So what I've done is I've put your icons on the screen. They're small. Hopefully, they're not too small for you to see. And so you guys should be able to control your own icons. And so if you guys separate, we know where everybody is.
All right.
Did I
Oreo,
forget you? I did forget you. That is weird. There you go.
Oreo, do you think you'd be able to run interference if necessary, or did you have some other plans for a distraction?
I can run interference, that's fine. Just let me know how far back you want me to stay.
Um, probably doesn't have to be too far back. I mean, just far enough doesn't look like you're following or anything. I mean, since it's public areas, I mean, friendly people should be moving around, and if I have to lure people to try to make my getaway, should be able to find a quiet space. But if all goes well, it'll be just a conspicuous failure, and then I just run off. So,
Okay.
all right. In that case, I'll go ahead and start leading the way over to about here.
Okay, so you want to get close to the halls of learning area, but not actually in it.
Right. And so, having looked at and memorized some of the beggar appearances, my first plan is to go ahead and um, my first plan is going to be to like hit shops first. The main reason for that is that those people have a little less flexibility as far as giving chase, but they'll still have that whole, they'll still have plenty of reason to be mad. And then I'll also attempt some pickpocketing. Those people will be more mobile and then also help draw attention to all of this stuff.
Okay,
Um,
so we'll go ahead and start with the first thing you said is the shops. So what kind of shop are you looking for in particular, if anything?
um, I guess probably nothing too necessarily too fancy. It could even be as simple as, just like maybe a bakery or any sort of food shop, just anything that maybe a beggar would have immediate use for, maybe some place that sells clothing. If there happens to be something convenient that sells valuables or whatever, that's fine too.
Okay, so it'll probably take you roughly 5 to 10 minutes to find a place like that. So go ahead and
Hmm.
give me a navigation check to see how well, how well you find something that fits your criteria. If it basically be a wisdom check. If you have any sort of city-based navigation, you can use that instead.
Let's see. Well, when you say navigation, are you talking about survival?
Normally it'd be survival if you're out in the wild, but in this case, it would just be a wisdom unless you have anything specifically uh, geared towards cities.
And I
Streetwise would also work.
actually, before you would have split up from us too much, Rico, would you have shared what you were looking for? Because maybe Oreo could have assisted you with a bit of like, she has some navigation on her, so maybe th that was a way to kind of help you with that role.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it helped. Yeah, if you guys knew where and what kind of things I was likely to start trying to mess with.
So can that work retroactively there, Jeremy? Like
Yeah,
if
that's
you
fine.
before, okay.
In fact, if you want to lead the way, he can tell you what he wants, and then you could use your navigation skill. I believe you have something related to cities, don't you?
Yeah, regional
There
navigation.
you go. So you could use that if you want, and have him help you.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think
and a
you
rogue's got a
want
pretty good.
I think you want my role for this one. You'll see in a second.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
uh
but allow me to offer my expert
So while
guidance.
you guys are rolling that, and like I said, that's going to take 5 to 10 minutes. So Galen, what do you and Davak, what are you doing during that 5 to 10 minute time span?
I mean, I think we would just be walking over to the guards. I don't think we're doing anything in particular.
By the guards, you mean are you wandering the street looking for guards, or are you specifically going to the garrison?
No, I'd go to the garrison, I think. The
Okay,
the
so you're
closest
there. So
one.
it'll probably take you about 5 minutes to get there. So you actually get there before Pico finds what he's looking for.
Now, as they approach, Fire Lily's going to say, Now, now, don't get too close. Remember, you're supposed to be reporting these things happening in advance. So you don't want to be standing around and then suddenly decide to talk to a guard who's been watching you the whole time.
Fair enough.
Okay, so anyway, you're approaching the garrison. So what are you doing?
Um, well then let's hmm. What do you think, Devok? Just
Um,
kind of like make ourselves not seen for a little bit until I don't know
yeah,
how to report this.
I suppose so.
So what are you doing? You're hiding.
Yeah. Also, sorry if I'm a little low energy today. I've had a migraine all day. It's kind of
Okay,
hard
yeah,
for me.
no problem. Just do the best you can. So
Yeah.
when you guys say not be seen, are you doing exactly? Are you hiding? Are you blending in at the crowd, or what are you doing?
Maybe, hmm. We know where I can ask Pico's familiar where he's going to be committing these crimes. So maybe we walk that way and then we can come back pretending to be like we were coming from that direction.
I
Okay,
agree.
so are you guys? You're gonna wait for the familiar to have this information first, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Okay, so you're just you're hanging back. You've walked part of the way. And you're hanging back, waiting for the familiar to tell you where they're gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Ragu, it's for maybe about 10 minutes. Everybody's kind of split off. What are you doing during that time period?
Just keeping the eye out, waiting for Pico to start doing his thing.
So are you with Pico or are you still at Borchard Street?
Actually, I'm gonna stay aboard. I'm gonna keep a lookout there. That way, I can
Okay.
see what's going on.
Okay, so you're keeping a lookout at Borchard Street. Cool. All right, Pico, you've found you have a couple of options that with Oreo's help that you're able to find. There's a bakery shop that sells goods to the university, and so you get some end clientele as well as some lower end clientele. It's kind of a mix. You also found a bookstore that sells high quality books, not specifically for learning, but recreational books. But they get a lot of visits from the university, and then finally. You found a store that sells utensils and plates and dishware, and some of it's fairly expensive and high quality, including some actual silverware. So, what are you going to do with that information?
Um, the bakery sounds like a good one, and I'm gonna back up a little bit. Ragu, I've got an idea. My plan is to really not be able to get away with anything, but I'm gonna make an exception for the bakery. Um, I don't suppose you could have Char deliver the remains of a baked good
Yeah, man.
near whichever.
Well, to
Uh,
interrupt real quick, Ragu is back at Birchery Street, just so you know that.
oh, I thought he was keeping up with
No,
me.
he's keeping an eye out in Birchery Street. That's why I asked what everybody's doing. So Char's not, or Ragu's not looking.
Ah. Okay. Well, in that case, um, okay, Oreo, I've got an idea here. So I'm thinking about. I'm not really planning on taking anything from most of these places. I'm going to make an exception for the bakery. And my thinking is that if some of the remains of the baked goods ended up by whichever person I'm impersonating, that would help make things more authentic. So do you think you'd be willing, once I start my little spree, to go ahead and potentially sneak back with the baked goods and plant that in the area?
Sure. Do you have baked goods?
I'm about to.
Okay.
Um,
So, Joe,
yeah,
just to be clear, you want the you're gonna be leaving the crumbs, or am I gonna be doing that on my way with the goods?
I'll need you to do that because you can start doing that right after I hit the bakery. Basically, I'll pass the things off to you, and then you can deal with that or maybe wait just a couple of minutes as I go ahead and uh, accost other people. I'll try to keep it all close to this area, and if all goes well and I'm able to flee, then while I'm breaking the trail, you can go ahead and plant that stuff. So by the time the information gets out, that should already be there, and it'll just make those guys look more incriminating. And
Where
I've
exactly do you want the goods like eventually by? Do you want them real close to the well or just close to one of the guys?
just close to one of the guys,
Okay.
preferably whichever one I disguise myself as, which will be well, like this guy, and poof, take the first image.
Okay.
So what I'm going to
Uh,
do real quick is I'll take you back to the map so you can actually point out which guy that is, since I don't know which guy that is based on your description. So just scroll around the map and ping the guy that you're disguising yourself as.
I think I'm going to go with this one here first because since he's kind of tucked into an alley, it should be easier for Oreo to come up behind and
Wait,
drop
which one?
something in there. Uh, this guy here, the one who looks like he's got a pile of wood there, kind of at the north end of the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that way you can approach from behind and plant things. Well,
I mean,
actually,
you just tell me which one, and I'll figure out a way. I mean, the way I was almost figuring is that I'd be giving them like here, would you like a treat? Because I've got a lot of food on me. Just let them eat it.
hey, that works too. In which case, this one might work well because he's right on the street along a main thoroughfare. So yeah, I'll leave that to you. But that's the one I'll do first. The other ones, it doesn't really necessarily matter too much.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll go ahead and switch back to the map now that we know that.
Mhm.
All right, so what do you do?
Okay, so having disguised myself as that person first,
Oh,
and
actually, hold on. Sorry, real quick. Galen, um, I'm pretty sure the familiar would have told you that he's about to hit a bakery.
well,
He's
actually, I'm gonna wait.
BRB, isn't he?
Oh, go ahead.
Isn't Galen BRB? He just put
Oh,
it in
he is.
chat.
Yeah,
And you said you're gonna wait.
yeah. I don't want to report this right when I start things. I want to have time to actually,
Okay.
sow
Well,
the chaos first.
okay. Let me know when you report then, and we'll switch back to them. All right. So go ahead, Pico.
Mhm. Besides, I've actually got an idea involving that. So, okay, so with Oreo kind of tucked off in a, you know, ideally in an alley or something where I can make the
I'll
switcheroo.
go. I mean, do I? I don't want to look, I guess, that suspicious, so I'll just go ahead and roll up that.
Okay, so you're just kind of hiding near the bakery.
Y- Yeah, but I'm not making it like Pico would be able to catch me. I'm doing it intentionally so that Pico will be able to see me, but I'm trying to be as sneaky from anybody else looking around.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so you got a 28. So Pico, what do you do?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the bakery.
So you approach the bakery and you see that it's got a fairly large glass window, and on the other side of the window you can see open shelves with all sorts of baked goods kind of laid out so that you can see them from the outside. And on the inside, it looks like it's fairly busy. This looks like a popular place. So you can see
Mhm.
various people, kind of looking at the goods, people talking to the baker. The baker has a helper that is, also helping people find what they need, and that kind of thing.
Okay, is there anything out that's available, or is it all behind the counter stuff?
Oh, it's basically laid out. So you have the counter, and then you have stuff behind the counter. But in front of the counter, you have stuff kind of arrayed so you can see it through the outside window. So you would actually have to come in. You'd have some stuff kind of arrayed along the walls, and then you'd go to the counter and then pay for it.
All right, I'm looking for something reasonably fancy, something that would kind of bother them more if it were taken.
Well,
Um,
there's definitely some large cakes, and um, there's various. They look kind of strange to you, but they seem to be like cups with fruit and bread kind of arranged in interesting patterns. Some of them are topped with sugar, that kind of thing. But some of the cakes are rather large, but obviously it varies in size. But it doesn't look like there's anything fancier than that on your side of the counter.
okay. Um, you said nothing fancier than that on my side, so that does those cakes are in fact there.
So the cakes are on your side, but there's nothing fancier than the cakes and the fruits on your side. Looks like behind the counter where the bakers are, there's potentially fancier stuff, like stuff like topped with gold and that kind of thing.
Hmm. Okay, well, I'm gonna pull out a handful of coins, some copper and silver, and kind of conspicuously count it, and then go and look at one of the cakes and excuse me, how much for this cake?
So as you're looking at the cakes, you can see they range from simple and small to ginormous wedding cake sized monstrosities, and all in between. What kind of size cake are you looking at?
I'm looking for something fairly smallish, because after all, the thing's got to be transported, and I'm pretty sure Oreo's not going to be happy if I'm making her transport like a 5-layer cake.
Fair enough. I was like, oh, yes, there we have, it's made with the finest ingredients. You can see that it's got this really interesting frosting made from the shells of a nearly extinct mollusk found just in this area. So that particular cake, as you have a keen eye toward the expensive things, that particular cake will run you a good 100 silvers.
100 silver. Well, that's just too expensive. And I grab it and run.
Wait, what are you doing? And as you go to run, you can see people start turning towards you. One big burly guy, maybe a wannabe hero, tries to stand in your way. So what do you do?
All right. Well, if basically for anybody who tries to get in my way, I'm going to go ahead and elbow them and just keep on dashing.
Okay, so you go to elbow him. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right.
It'd be a strength-based attack with just your proficiency and your strength bonus.
Okay. Oh wow, that's gonna be amazing.
Is that happening outside or is that still as
That's
he
still
leaving?
inside.
Oh, okay.
Oh, holy crap! I wasn't trying to hit, but I guess I did anyway. That's
Yeah,
a 21.
you elbow him right in the chest, knocking him backwards as you run past, and you hear behind you, "Stop him!" So you reached outside. You can hear yelling from inside. Oreo, you see him exit the building carrying a cake. So what do you do?
I definitely want to get close to him so then I can. I mean, would you say that if I'm camouflaged, I would probably be like in an alley-ish way?
That would be fine if that's you're either in an alley or you're hiding in plain sight. Kind of like on a bench.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of that at first, but considering the way that this is going to be played out, I definitely would have been in an alley. So as soon as
Okay.
I see him, I would just like Looney Tunes just tug him into the alley. And I'm assuming that he'll hand me the cake, but what I'll also do, like in that process, is throw a couple of ball bearings behind him
Okay.
and just be like, "It, are we good? Can I run?"
Yeah, so as that happens, you pull him in, and Pico, you're being pulled. I'm assuming you're letting it happen.
Yes.
She throws some ball bearings, and behind you, you hear a thud, and oof, as somebody hits the ground. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna go ahead and gingerly hand the cake and quickly do a minor illusion of a decent sized barrel. You can hide there if you need a moment, and I'm just gonna book for another alley.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, fair enough. So what I'll have you guys do is make separate stealth checks since you're going in different directions. I'm assuming you're trying to get away
Yeah,
without being seen, or if you
yeah,
don't
yeah, but
care.
it's no, of course it's hidden, but I mean, like, am I being put still and you're gonna be the one moving, so I should be doing camouflage on my end, right?
Yeah, and as far as a stealth check, I don't want to do one immediately. I want to be conspicuously leaving the alley to draw attention. Then I'll go ahead and stealth to try and break the trail.
Okay, so what's happening is that you run off, you see someone chase you for a bit, but because you let them see you and you didn't you let them follow you for a while, that makes your stealth check to basically break line of sight a bit harder. So go ahead and make your stealth check.
Yeah. And I will have, at points turned and just kind of, uh, you know, kind of things.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, and what I'm going to do is I'll also, once I break line of sight, I'm going to go ahead and change to a different look. So, in fact, yeah, I'll just go back to my normal self initially. But
Well, let's first see if you break line of sight, and then you can do whatever. You do.
yeah.
All right. So you break line of sight, and you're changing into your normal self. You said.
Yep. And I'm going to use my set my cloak up to be reasonably fancy-ish.
Okay. So you stop. You're a little bit out of breath, but not too bad since you're used to going fast. Oreo, you're still hidden behind the barrel. They ran right past you. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna wait for that to kind of fizzle out anyway, because I think it only lasts for like a minute, right?
Right.
So in that minute, how can you give me a description, a better description of the cake itself?
Okay. So it's probably about 8 inches wide and 5 inches tall. It has some white-looking frosting. The cake itself is brown, but and then you see a couple of small red fruits stuck in the top, and the frosting itself seems to sparkle a little. They're kind of like almost a little bit like a car paint job, but to a lesser degree.
Okay. Um, all right. So a couple things I'm gonna do. I already know what I'm gonna be picking off first, but just before the minute is finished, she's gonna use a claw to mimic what would be like tooth marks of a normal human bite along a part of the cake. and take that in her hands and just kind of mush it so she can start using that as she's running to drop things along the way.
Okay.
So
And
as
let's
soon
see.
as
Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going to ask you. So the idea is to leave a little trail behind you.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the strawberries. I was gonna do that first, but since she's already got the cake in her hand, she's gonna probably use that first. But in the process, though, so here's the thing that I don't know if I need how to roll this. I'm obviously trying to be sneaky in the sense of where I'm laying this, but it also has to be somewhat obvious where it's going. So, is it just a plain stealth if I just want to be sneaky-ish? I'm trying to. I mean, I have
It
a cake
sounds
in
a
my
bit
hands. I
more
don't
like
know.
it almost sounds like a bit more like a deception check, honestly, because you're not really trying to be stealthy in the sense that you want your trail to be obvious, but you don't want it to look like it's obvious.
Okay, so all right, deception it is. So I will start as soon as the thing is up, I'm gonna start doing that and not casually walking, just fucking running,
Okay.
doing it as I'm.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna roll. Hold on, give me a second to roll.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep, fair enough. Actually, just for the shits and giggles, I'm gonna use a fate point.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's see here. Ooh,
Oh,
I think that's the lowest roll ever.
Oh no.
Oh man, that's awesome. All right, cool.
So basically, as you're going along, you think that you're being obvious and yet sneaky at the same time. But as it turns out, it's clear to everyone who sees you. You're kind of like the guy who stops and you look around and then you do something, where it's obvious that you're trying to be sneaky. But so it's like, so as you're going along with this, at some point you see a curious guard who just kind of comes around a corner, looks at you, and starts heading your direction. So what do you do?
I'm gonna keep running full speed and drop strawberries or whatever the fruit is on top additionally to that. Just keep going, trying to outbeat him. So if it would be action, bonus action, and whatever else to just go full speed.
Yeah, what's your speed?
It's 30, but I can bonus action a dash, so
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, just go ahead and give me a dex check and see if you can outrun him. Because once you start running, he starts running.
ooh.
And I'm going to go ahead and make a check. So D20. We'll give him a +2. Okay. Apparently, the dice said that he catches up with you easily. So he's running. He actually has manages to get ahead of you. And stop! I just want to ask you a question. What do you do?
I want to take another portion of the cake and like a snowball, try and aim it at his face as I'm running.
Okay, go ahead and make a dexterity-based attack roll. So
What
that's your
does that mean?
proficiency plus your dex bonus, and a d20.
What's our bonus again? It's 4, so that would be a plus. Okay, so let me just do this then. Give me a sec.
Okay, you managed to hit him in the face, which isn't too hard since he's running right towards you. And it's like, he stops, and you manage to run past him.
Yeah, I keep going and still trying to listen to the instructions, drop as many crumbs and stuff as along the way, but I definitely want to make it to the area that I remember that particular face being. And as soon as I get into that area, I want to slow down before anyone particularly sees me, like from the guys near the well.
Okay.
And as I'm approaching, I'm just gonna start licking my paw just be like or whatever, just to make sure that I look as clean as possible. And I just want to casually be like, oh, you know, I there's just so much at that party that I was at. Would you like some of this? And I want to just hand the guy the leftover cake.
The bum looks up at you. You can tell he's actually surprised, and it says, yeah, that looks good. I'll take some. He
Here,
seems
take it
genuinely
all
confused.
seriously. No, seriously. I mean, there was so much. I'm so full. Here, just take it on. I just leave everything on him, and then I just casually keep walking down.
And for the record, as you were licking your paw and you got a taste of the cake, it was actually quite good.
Ah,
It's probably
nice.
some of the best cake you've had.
Well, that's a shame.
All right. So in the meantime, Pico, sorry, Ragu. You saw Oreo show up and give cake to a beggar. As she's doing that, do you do anything?
Nope. I'm just keeping an eye out. At the well, is there any activity going on, comings or goings?
Well, if are you actually at the well, or are you just looking from a distance?
From a distance.
Okay, yeah. So you don't see anything going on at the well. At least nothing you can see. The beggars are still sitting around, kind of just keeping an eye out.
And I'm clocking where they are and which ones can see the well from their positions,
All right,
so I can see which ones need to get taken away.
cool. So Galen and Devok, you're still waiting to hear from the familiar. What are
Mm,
you guys doing? Or are you just waiting?
I think we're just waiting. I don't think there's
Yeah.
really anything we can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Pico, you've lost your tail. You've transformed. Oreo's long gone. So what are you gonna do?
Okay, so in a quiet spot, I'm going to go ahead and change to the next beggar appearance, and I'm going to go to the bookstore.
Okay. You arrive at the bookstore and you see what looks like fairly young people kind of browsing the books. You can see that there's the door's open, but there's no window on this place,
Hmm.
and it's a bit dark. There are some lanterns, but the place isn't as well illuminated as you might expect, and there's this kind of musty smell to it. And you can see that there's an area, a reading area, and you can see at least one person smoking uh, some sort of pipe. So that's not helping the smell any. But
Hmm.
it seems to be a popular place with the younger crowd, perhaps
Hmm.
people currently attending the university. And behind the counter, you can see what looks like a female halfling with jet black hair and a kind of pudgy face with a happy expression. And you can see that she's interacting with the young people who are asking her about various books and whatnot. So what do you do?
Okay, so when everybody's distracted, I'm going to go ahead and minor illusion a book in my hand. I'm going to be, and then, wow, a signed copy of Tusk Love! And I go ahead and wrap my what's now set up as a shabby cloak in front of the book so I can do the minor illusion disappearance without anybody seeing it, and then just knock over a bunch of books as I bolt towards the door.
And then you hear a scream, "What? Come back here, young man!" Um, so you bolt and you see a bunch of confused people, and you as you're running out, you see kind of a beggar down the street, kind of looking at you. And as you leave, you actually he starts clapping. Um, and but as you get further away, you see the lady kind of run to the door, and then stop, screaming at you, "Come back, young man! If you don't come back, I'll find out who you are. I swear it." What do you do?
I'm going to go ahead and break contact again and change up disguises.
Okay, as you do so, you have an easier time because there seems to be less crazy people chasing after you this time.
All right. So this time I'm going to go ahead and just pick somebody out on the street who looks reasonably well to do.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take 7 gold, hold that in my hand, just carefully, and I'm going to go ahead and just sort of casually walk towards somebody coming my direction. Somebody doesn't have anybody too close, and then as they approach, I'm going to go ahead and accost them like I'm. Well, actually, I'm going to try and do the essentially quote unquote pickpocket them, although I'm not actually stealing anything.
Okay, so you're looking for a well-to-do person who's coming your
Uh,
direction, and you're going to try to pickpocket them?
Actually, let me do this a little differently. What I'm going to do then is rather than try the pickpocket, I'm basically going to treat this as kind of more of a mugging. I'm going to go ahead and essentially kind of thrust the hand with the gold kind of near any sort of where it looks like they might have valuables. Then I'll go ahead and elbow them, um, or just shove them. Basically, it'll be an attack, and then I'm going to go ahead and run off.
Okay, so you approach. It's like, what are you doing? And then you go to elbow them. So go ahead or shove them. So go ahead and make your strength-based attack.
Okay, 17.
All right, so you definitely push them. It's like, basically, you knock him backward, and he kind of falls backward onto his butt. And what are you doing?
And I go ahead and look, 7 gold, ha ha, sucker, and run.
Stop that man! And so you start running, and you see a guard kind of come around the corner. It's like, what? That way! Get him quickly! And you see those guards start running after you. Um, and so you're going to lead him along for a while?
Yep, for a little bit.
Okay, so he's chasing after you. What's your speed?
40.
Okay, so yeah, no problem. You're definitely gaining ground on him. Uh, Stop him, thief! And as you're running down the street, you see a guard or two guards come around the corner. Stop that man, thief! What do you do? They're in
Where?
front, so you got a guard chasing behind you that you're losing, and then you have two guards that just came out in front of you, probably about 20 feet in a straight line.
All right, any fences, buildings?
You're basically street, so yeah, there's definitely buildings on either side. Um, there'd probably be houses. So yeah, so you got some houses. Some of them have yards, some of them don't.
Actually, if there's any sort of alley, I'm going to go ahead and dash for the alley, except I'm going to proc feline agility
Okay.
as soon as I get into the alley so I can get more distance, try and get around a corner, and then I'm going to climb up onto a roof when they can't see me.
Okay, so you can hear them following you. This is a stressful situation, so you need to make a climbing check.
All right, let's see, where is that?
Okay, yeah, you easily climb on the roof, and so you see them come out of the alley, looking around. You're currently on the roof. Go ahead and make a stealth check to see if you can hide from sight.
Okay, let's see, normal stealth, because this isn't really a tailing thing. Oh, actually, I am, never mind, I won't bother with that. Where's regular stealth? There we go, I don't know why that was so hard to find.
Okay, so let's see. That would be against their passives. So yep. So you managed to hide from one of the guards. From the other guard, he's a little bit more on the ball. So I'm actually gonna roll a perception check for him. Okay, yeah, you hide. The guards are looking around. In fact, they don't even bother to look on the roof. There's something. They're definitely not well trained at finding people as agile as you are. And so they're looking around for a while, and then eventually they move on, still looking for you.
All right, so once the coast is clear, I'll go ahead and climb down, break the disguise, and then time for my last target. So I'm going to have Fire Lily tell Galen, okay, just a little bit longer. He's almost ready for the signal.
All right, bet.
Okay, so I go ahead and take my last disguise, and I start moving much closer to everybody. In fact, I'm going to end up here.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this beggar runs up, just starts ransacking to Galen, holds up 5 platinum, I think. Yep, 5 platinum. Ha! Fool! Better luck next time, and I run.
So Galen, you saw this beggar run up to you, holding up platinum. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna roll a check for Galen really quickly to see if he would have known. Did you tell me about this beforehand, Pico?
I did not. My thinking was it would be more authentic.
Yeah, let me roll just a natural intelligence check.
Okay,
I think a 10 should do it for me.
fair enough.
No. Okay, so I think he's stolen my platinum, which I actually don't. I have some platinum, so I would have thought that he actually stole it.
Right. So you
Um,
see him. He's holding the platinum and he's about to turn to run. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try and grab him.
Okay, go ahead and make a grapple check, and which is basically your athletics. And then
Right.
Pico, you can make a strength or athletics check to try to avoid being grappled.
Uh,
Beat that. Oh, he did.
Okay, he easily breaks out of your grapple and starts running. What do you do?
All right. No, stop! That man stole my money.
And at this point in time, you see, because you're pretty near the garrison, so at this point
Hmm.
in time, a guard runs up. What's going on, sir?
This beggar thing, that man just stole 5 platinum from me. He just took money and ran.
So how fast are you running, Pico?
Probably
Are
pretty
you trying to
fucking
get out of
fast.
sight as quickly as possible, or are you trying to stay in sight for a while?
for this, I don't want to stay too close because I'm seeing the garrison's right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm going to go ahead and be pulling out all the stops for this. Feline agility to get further. I'll click on boots of speed to sustain if necessary. But yeah, at the very least, I'm going to be moving at a speed of 80,
So,
Oh
even
my
just
God.
normally.
which is fair, but the main question is, are you running a straight line so just to get away so that they can see you, or are you ducking out of sight as quickly as possible?
Um, Not quite as quick as possible. I'm actually going to go ahead and run back basically to where the beggars were, which I guess is right here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run this direction. I kind of want to make a clear line in that direction so that they've got an idea of which way they
Okay,
need to
so
go.
you want to be seen.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so Galen, you see the guard start chasing, and then he says, "You tell him, tell him that Charles is chasing a thief.
Okay.
Go to the garrison and tell him to send support for Charles."
Okay. Thank you, Charles. Godspeed.
And he starts running off. So
Okay,
what do you do, Galen?
I'm gonna go straight to the garrison.
All right.
Hmm.
So yeah, you arrive. There are guards on duty, and at the gate. And one of the guards sees you coming. He says, you sir, what's all the noise?"
So I just got robbed by that man. Charles told me to come over here and tell you that he was in pursuit. I was actually on the way though, because there's been a group of beggars or something that have been just absolutely harassing the people over in, I don't know the meta name for the area, but I would say that name.
It'd
I
be
guess the street.
Bortry Street.
Borchard's over on Borchard Street. They've been harassing so many people. You gotta go clean them up, please. They've stolen so much stuff, and now they've taken my money.
Okay. So you come saying that, and um, I'm curious how authentic and that you actually sound while you're doing this. So you can either give me a diplomacy or a performance check. Deception will also work. Um, but I think you have advantage because you feel like you've just actually been robbed.
Okay, so it's not a persuasion check, but it might be. What did you
It's
say?
like
It would be a
deception or
Deception or performance?
performance, you know, to kind of see if you're acting the part, that kind of thing.
Okay, I'll roll performance because I don't like to lie. All right, cross my fingers.
Okay.
Not
So you got a
amazing.
14.
I
Uh,
think
but
let me see how many fate points I have. I might want to use one on this.
I don't think you need to because you've
Okay,
already told him about. You already
Charles.
gave him the name Charles, so I think in
Yeah,
this
all
case
right.
a 14's okay.
Okay,
So he's
cool.
like, "Okay, man, point the way. Which way did Charles go?"
I'll take you. I'll take you. And then I start taking them to Burchard Street.
So the as you start going toward Borcher Street, you notice that there are 6 guards following you.
Awesome. That's a good amount. That should hopefully get us
Okay.
these people cleaned up.
So you arrive, and the guards start coming through. Anyway, Pico, you're still disguised as a guard, and you are running toward this place. What
And a beggar.
a beggar, yeah. So what do you do when you get here?
Well, before we get there, I was actually thinking about once I've broken contact, I'm going to drop the disguise, and actually, I guess at this point it'd be fine to look like myself, and I'm going to just go ahead and drop to the ground. And if I hear any commotion coming up behind me, I'm going to start getting up and dusting myself off, all enraged.
Okay, fair enough. So you see a guard running, and then behind the guard, in the distance, you can see a Galen and presumably Devok and 6 other guards that are also running. And so the guard in front looks as you dust yourself off, and he's like, "They got you too, man."
If you're looking for a guy with black hair and shabby clothes, going with my last appearance, he ran that way, I think, towards the well. And I point in the direction of this area.
He looks at you, and then it's like, "All right then." And then he moves past. He moves past. Go visit the garrison to make a full report. And then he runs past you. And
God.
then Galen and Devok, you see Pico, who's just talking to the guard out front, Charles, and you can see he looks all dusty, and his clothes are maybe slightly tattered from falling. Do you stop and say anything, or you just go past him?
I think I would assume that Pico's probably just playing a part, so I think I'm gonna go past him and say they hang out over there. Point over at the well, where Charles is going.
Okay. And so the you and the guards all show up, and you can see that Charles immediately heads toward the beggar that Pico was disguising himself as, and then the other guards kind of fan out toward the other beggars, and and as the beggar gets caught, he pulls him up and then turns back to you, Galen. Is this the man? And it looks just like Pico did when he robbed you of those platinum.
All right, but I still don't know that's Pico. Yeah, that's him. That's him for sure.
Man, we're taking you in for suspicion of thievery. What do you have to say for yourself? And he's like, I didn't do anything. I've been here. Look, you can ask anybody here. I've been here. Where are you right now, Oreo?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, I was by with Ragu at this point, but I mean, I did say that I was walking down the street, so eventually to meet up with him. If they're coming up in the same area, I do want to kind of. Am I able to hear everything that's going
Yeah,
on?
you're able to hear. And in fact, one of the guards turns towards you and he yells, "Come over here, miss, if you don't mind."
Do I recognize that guard as somebody that was following
I'll
me?
just be behind him, kind of
You
nodding.
see Galen right next to the guard.
Oh, yeah. She'll follow up, and then she'll also kind of be like, I don't know what's going on here, but if and I just point to the one that I gave the cake to. It's like, I don't know what's going on here, but these guys, look at them. They have fancy shit over here. Look at it. And I just point over there.
and one of the guards says, "Wait, this cake, it's I recognize the place." And the first guard goes, "So, miss, have they actually been here all day as far as you can tell? I mean, have you seen any of them leave or do anything suspicious?"
Only just came around here like a couple minutes ago. I have no idea. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I've been here most of the morning.
Okay, sir.
These guys just came running in just a few minutes ago. They've been they were all grouped together by the well over there talking earlier today, and then they all left like an hour ago, and they just now came rushing back. They
And one
have
says,
not been
"That's
here
not
all
true.
day, as
We've
they
been here all
say.
day. You can't believe him." Another one says, "Yeah, he's the real thief." And then the guard looks at
Me?
the first
Ah,
one.
Look at my
thief?
stature.
Oh.
He looks at the beggar.
Dirty little bum.
"We haven't gotten to the thievery charges yet." And then gather them up, boys. We'll have more discussion at the garrison. And the guards walk around and start arresting the beggars.
I'll
It was
go over and
all of them as a group over there
not.
too in the corner.
Okay. So they wind up gathering up all the beggars. It probably takes a good half an hour to get them all and cart them off, and then they stomp by you, Galen, and says, "You'll want to go to the garrison and report the money you've had stolen, and perhaps we can get it returned."
Okay. Thank you so much, Charles. You're my hero.
He sighs. It's like, I don't know what they're thinking. This city these days. And he kind of walks off, and probably at some point realizes he probably shouldn't be saying what he's saying out loud.
Whatever. All right. I'll be down to the garrison in a little bit.
He
First.
nods, and then the guards kind of take off.
Okay, guys. I'll go to the garrison later tonight. We have some business to take care of, I believe.
Okay. So
Yep.
sorry, go ahead.
No, she's gonna. All Oreo's gonna do was, as everyone's finally getting escorted away, you're gonna see her still kind of licking at her paw. She's like, "That was fucking good. Where'd you get that cake from, Miguel? I need to go back there."
Oh, that's a pricey cake. That's 100 silvers. But it was that one bakery you found.
Yeah. All right.
That-
All right.
Yeah, if that's what they had in front of the shelf, I can only imagine what the stuff behind is.
Good to know. All right. Anyway, let's carry on.
Alrighty. So, yep, the guards wind up leaving with the beggars, and as far as you can tell, they took every last one. You notice, though, they didn't really try too hard to run away. Once the guards were around, they kind of let themselves be taken in.
Mhm.
All right. Well, no matter what else happens today, that was just great.
That
Wait,
was
there's one more over
fantastic.
here. All of them are gone, right?
They're supposed to be. I might have just missed one.
Okay. Okay.
If
Just wanted to
there's
be sure.
one that you see somewhere, they just ignore him. Oh, there he is. He's gone now.
Oh no. What happened?
All right, go
All
ahead.
right. So what is it that we're doing? You guys are just gonna drop someone or drop your familiars in there?
We already kind of scouted. Honestly, I say we make sure that the coast is kind of clear if people aren't watching the well as much and just go in and take these guys out.
Okay. Uh, perception check, I guess, to see if we're really alone at this point, or if there's any other, like, if anybody the people that are living around or have noticed anything odd since there were a bunch of guards out here right now.
Oh, you don't need a perception check to see people at the various houses kind of looking out their window at all the commotion. So yeah, there's definitely some people kind of looking around, wondering what's going on.
Maybe we wanna just hang out by the well, but not do anything just yet. We don't want that many eyes on us.
Hmm.
Okay. So you're gonna wait for how long?
I'm just gonna chill out here. Maybe we could just say I'll just stay by these benches or whatnot for a little bit until I can see if everybody that's been curiously looking around have gone back to their business.
Okay, so one of you see this kind of older lady. who has been kind of looking. She actually comes out of her house and approaches you. And Oreo, you're actually the closest, so she comes up to you and she's like, "Young lady, can you tell me what that was all about?"
I don't know. It was very crazy. It seems like there's been a lot of troublemakers around here. I didn't even know it was that bad around here. You live here then long?
She
Hmm?
points at the house. "Hey, yes, my ungrateful son bought me this shack of a house.
Oh, I mean, can't be that bad, right? I mean, it's a home.
It's
It's
a
not like
home.
not
It's
like these guys that were
fine,
like living
except
out
for
here
the
for no.
except for all these beggars around all the time." She swings her cane around. "You're not a beggar, are you, Missy?"
No.
"Good.
She looks at me like, what the hell?
I hope you have a nice, well-paying, and productive job. You have
She
a job, don't you?"
nods. She nods and does the like hands behind her back with like crossing her fingers kind of situation.
And she looks the way you're dressed. She kind of looks at you. She's like, "Well, I was going to ask if you're cold, but you have all that fur.
Yeah,
Okay,
I did. Yeah.
well, I'm going to go back inside now. Make sure don't fall in that well. There's someone who went missing recently who's hanging around that well. It's not safe." And she
Hmm.
walks back to her house and slams the door behind her.
Interesting.
I look back at Ragu like, what the fuck was that about? And just
Crazy old lady.
exactly.
Old people love to get their
Weird,
nose in
gossipy
other
old
people's
lady.
business.
True.
Do we see anybody else still looking out
No,
or have?
this point, it's been probably 10 minutes, and people have gone back to their lives.
Okay, then let's go.
All right, let's do this. We can kind of be sneaky about it too, I think. I'm not very good at stealth, but if we want to make a group stealth, I think that would probably be good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have what looks like a normal well. You have the rope and the bucket. You already know halfway down about the opening. So what are you gonna do?
We're just gonna
And I don't
stealth down
see
there, use the
Pico.
rope.
Pico, are you hanging out down there, or are you actually by the well?
Oh, there we go. I didn't even realize I was on the map. There we go.
Okay. All right. So what do you do?
Didn't we have a rope or something, some system like that to get down there, or did we do some other thing,
I
something more
mean,
brute?
there's a rope attached to the well that we could use to climb down.
Okay. I'll go ahead and be the first. Although, how dark
Make
is it down there?
You can see the light kind of goes all the way down to the bottom, but obviously it gets darker because there's no direct sunlight hitting it. It's still bright enough to see, though.
Okay. Well, she
Should
will.
should I be going in first to take the first hit, or are you going to be okay?
Oh, I mean, go for it. I just
Remember, it's a
didn't.
very narrow path. We're
Yeah,
not going
no,
to be
go
able
for
to
it.
move around.
Yeah, no, go for it. No one was speaking up, so I just figured she was gonna go.
All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go in first so I can take the first hit of whatever that are going to try at us, and then you can come in
Okay,
Make sure
right
you
after.
hold on to both the ropes, otherwise you'll go down a little faster than you might have hoped.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a climbing check. I guess it'd be athletics with a DC of 10. Okay. So, yep, you climb down and you kind of make your way to the opening. You can definitely see some assassins. One of You can kind of see a kind of foot around the corner over here, and then you can see several in the back room. You're climbing down, and they're on guard, so they probably know you're there, unless you're trying to be stealthy.
I am, but
Are
we'll
you
see how
wearing?
well that works.
You're wearing that molten armor. So okay, yeah. So just go ahead and give
Yeah.
me a normal stealth check then.
Or stealth or my tailing movement. Yeah.
No, this would be normal stealth.
Oh.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. So I guess with that, you managed to climb down without them noticing. However, you have not entered yet.
No, I'm gonna wait for whoever's coming next. I think.
Okay. So who's next?
Nose goes.
Is that you?
Same.
No,
Nose goes.
that's me saying I'm not going next.
Sure, I'll go in next.
Okay. So you can go ahead and give me your stealth check.
So just to be clear, is it just a regular dex or is it a tailing? I can use tailing.
It's supposed to be just a regular check, a regular stealth check.
Okay. Because of my boots, they'll still do it with advantage.
Yep.
Um.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you managed to climb down. You see the same thing. Sorry. You see the same thing. You can see like a foot of one of the assassins, and then several down in the room in the opposite. They haven't yet noticed you're here. They don't seem to be looking out this direction. Um, Although one of them is probably looking um, at an angle, so they can probably see, this area here. So if you got actually into the room a decent amount, a little bit, then they'd notice you.
So if I were to step up to here, they would?
I would probably say you'd have to get to this hex here.
Okay, because all I wanted to do is make sure that because I know that it's a narrow pathway, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't like booby trapped or anything. So is there no way for me to check that this area is kind of pretty good?
Yeah, you can just go ahead and move yourself there and make a check.
Okay. I give Ragu the like I'm not going ahead. I'm just checking for something here. So
Yeah, I nod.
Yep.
hold on, just here. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do it with advantage, but either way, it's 21.
Yep. You're looking around, and yep, you do not see any booby traps in here. Although you do see a thin wire on the ground here. You're not sure what it's attached to, but you suspect that if you walked normally, you'd probably kick it.
I look back at Ragu and I just like point to my eye and then point directly at the wire so you can try and zone in on it. But I also will wait there. I'll probably just stay right by Ragu still, just waiting for the others.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and I'll watch that wire, make sure I don't.
So two people have gone down. So who's going next?
I guess I can go down now.
All right. Let me move you
Can I
Or
here.
do,
make? Is there any way for me to help them with the stealth checks since we're making sure that everybody, I guess, is in stealth mode? Like, because we were trying to do a
or
group
do you,
stealth,
yeah,
but
do you want Pico to go down next since he's sneakier than I am? So if I go, then we're at least ready to fight.
Well, what we can do is if Oreo is going to come out and help, we can essentially do a group check between you and Oreo, I suppose. So both of you would roll, and if one of you made it, then we're good.
okay, let's do that. So go ahead and roll yours. I'll roll my regular stealth too.
Okay, because I'm gonna fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fortunately, you would have failed miserably if you were on your own. But Oreo was there the whole time, and she kept directing, "No, don't step there. No, don't let go of the rope. No, you can't brace against the wall right there because the rocks are gonna break, etc." And eventually, you make your way down.
Yay.
I almost felt like he was probably just gonna rush, like he accidentally slipped on the rope and he's gonna just slam on me, so I just stopped his fall or something.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so Galen made it down. Who's next?
I'll go, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. Same deal. I'm assuming Oreo, you're
Yep.
helping Devok as well.
Mm-hmm.
So both Oreo and Devok can roll.
Okay. One sec, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Can I roll tailing?
It's just regular stealth.
Oh, and as he goes down, Devok, allow me to offer my expert guidance.
Okay.
What is this, an ASMR channel now? Jeez.
I'll try not to do that too much.
Fair enough. So Devok actually was surprisingly stealthy, and Oreo, he didn't actually need your help.
Yeah, no. Pro.
All right, and Pico, are you going down?
Yeah.
All right. So same thing one last time.
All right.
I want to say almost as a joke to Ragu for a second, she was gonna pull away like, okay, we're done. Pico can handle it himself, but she's gonna go back and help.
All right. Well, let's see if Pico can handle himself. Go ahead and roll, Pico. I'm just curious how it turns out.
Well, I'll offer my own expert guidance in this case. Okay.
So Pico would have actually been able to do it on his own.
All right. 25.
Yep. So anyway, you've managed to climb down and get to the entrance
I
without.
point, I do point the wire to every single one quietly, just again doing the same gestures that I did with Ragu to kind of be like, just watch the goddamn wire as they're walking out.
Okay.
A wire?
I kind of
Yeah, there's a
I
wire over here.
yeah. I gesture to my own head and then I point at Pico.
Mentally to Ragu, what's going on? You can mouth the response.
And then I actually tell him verbally, right there, about an inch from the ground, is a tiny tripwire. You can't hardly see it, but Oreo noticed. If you want to, like, mage hand or something and pull that wire to spring whatever it is while we're still back here and
We
safe,
can also
maybe.
just step over it. Maybe get them to run into it.
Well, they probably know it's there. I think we're probably just better off staring. So actually, what I'm going to do then is, given that they've told me about it, I'm going to look. If I look carefully, can I see it?
Yes.
All right.
So it's basically a thin wire that is it's actually slightly reflective, but because of the environment, that actually makes it harder to see.
Okay, so because what I'm going to do is, sorry, do I have to roll anything, or
No,
did
you
I?
see it.
Okay, then just for good measure for everybody, spells, crap, that ain't so great. And there's basically what, stone? Okay, let me move my thing so I can actually see the, what the heck? Can't actually move me? I'm holding Alt, so that should, am I stuck in something?
It's
Oh.
weird. Okay, you should all be able to move now.
Okay.
You're probably stuck in the wall.
All right. What do I have on me?
Can you still not move?
Oh, I can see now, so I didn't really have to move. Yeah, it's working, just rather
Okay.
sluggish. Actually, I guess with my forgery kit, I'll go ahead and probably got some ink in there, and I'm going to go ahead and dribble a line just showing where the tripwire is so people know where to watch out.
Okay, you dribble some on there and probably staying careful not to go too far forward. And yeah, everybody can see the wire pretty clearly now.
All right, let's just step over it and let's take out these assassins.
Do we just all want to burst in, just try and do one surprise run, or do we want to do anything in particular? Just, I'm fine with either. I'm just making sure we know what the plan is.
Yeah, let's get a surprise round. Hopefully not too loudly, but yeah.
So somebody, of course, is going to have to deal with the assassin around the corner first.
I can.
Definitely do. Oh, can you
Go
do
ahead.
that?
No, if you got something particular for sneaking to get him, go for it. I figured I was gonna.
Nothing
I
for sneaking. I'm just big and strong.
Well, because the thing is, if I do attack now, at least I get some extra damage. Actually, let me double check
In that
something
case,
here. Um,
in that
it,
case, yes, you do that.
yeah, my daggers are charged, so yeah, a little extra buff. So if that's the case, then knowing where the wire is, I'm definitely going to take out a dagger and just throw it directly around the corner to this guy, seeing that I see where he's at.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead and make your attack, and then we'll roll initiative.
So I'm doing this at advantage because he doesn't know that I'm there.
That's correct. And you hit.
And Pico, go ahead and roll your
Oh
what's
yeah,
it
the
called?
Eldritch Blast
Yeah.
stuff.
You can also
All right.
get your sneak attack roll
Yeah,
done.
yeah, that one too. Yep. That.
Okay. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. So ignore that. What we're doing is this and this.
13. Okay. Excellent. All right. So that did a good chunk of damage, and now everybody roll initiative. Okay, and so we'll descend. All right, we are at the beginning of round 1, and you just stealthily threw a dagger right in the assassin's face, but before he has a chance to react, you get another attack. So what are you going to do?
I'm gonna jump over the wire and make it over here. Stabby, stabby. Both of them again.
What the heck?
So
Sorry, hold on. I don't understand why these guys didn't show up.
oh,
That is annoying. Now they're there. You still go first. Nothing changes, but
oh.
they just
Okay,
weren't
okay.
noticed.
I was just holding off just in
Yeah,
case. All
go
right.
ahead.
So first one
You
hits.
stab
Oh,
him good.
nice.
So that one's still gonna be just plain one, and then offhand.
You hit again.
This one, Pico, go ahead and roll again.
Okay. Only 6.
All right. You can see that the. Oh, you don't see his health. Let me fix that. But you can definitely see that he is almost dead. And I'm going to go ahead and fix
And
the health out of the other ones.
let me just do one other thing just to be sure about. Yeah, they're far away. Nope, that's it. She's gonna move up one more. Are these barrels like how
Wait,
tall are
did you
these
do your
barrels?
sneak
They're
attack?
just.
I can't do my sneak attack. He already knows I'm there.
So yeah, they don't go up to the ceiling. They're basically 3 or 4 feet tall. They're
Uh,
probably 4 feet tall. Yeah.
can I stand on it? I guess easily if just want to be on
Yeah,
this.
it would be basically rough terrain to climb up. So it basically costs you 2 hexes of movement.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I'll be there.
Fair enough. All right, Pico, you heard Oreo kind of go around the corner and tear up an assassin. Um, you can hear some surprised voices down in the other room. What are you gonna do?
All right. Let's see. What's the closest? I'm going to conjure animals right in the middle of the group out here with commands to just go ahead and maul the assassins. There's going to be wolves.
All right, let me find the wolves.
Oh, yes, the Zerg
Actually,
swarm.
no. Let me see. Maybe I'll. Oh, yeah, wolves are fine.
Okay, why can't I see them though? Hold on, I don't understand why I can't see the wolves. Well, we'll do dire wolf tokens, although they're not actually dire wolves, just because I can't seem to find the regular wolves. All right. And how many? 8?
Yeah. And I'll have them kind of, if there's not enough room for them, I'll have them run past and kind of surround the captive.
Alrighty. So let me look up a wolf so I can have them attack. It's a regular wolf. Alrighty then. So the first wolf attacks. And he gets a +4 to hit. Okay. So the first wolf misses. Oh, he has advantage to pack tactics. He still misses anyway. Second wolf does hit. And he does 2d4. So 6 points of damage as he tears into one of the assassins. The third wolf hits, and he does 8 points of damage as he tears into one of the assassins. The fourth wolf misses. The fifth wolf hits for 7 points of damage. The sixth wolf misses. The seventh wolf hits. The eighth wolf misses for another 4 points of damage. Okay, so you summon the wolves. They manage to hurt 2 of the assassins. What else are you going to do, if anything, Pico?
Well, that was pretty much my action, so I'm going to go ahead and stay back.
Fair enough. All right, Ragu, you can't see the assassin from there, but you know one of them has been badly hurt, and the others are surrounded by wolves. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to move forward, being careful to step over the tripwire.
Right.
And once I get to the other side of the tripwire with my sword, I'm just going to lay right into this guy.
Fair enough.
Do we kind of have him flanked about as best as we can
As
in the
best you
corner?
can get, so I'll give you advantage.
Okay.
All right, you hit. For another 12 points of damage. He's still alive, but just barely. And
Second
you
attack.
hit again. And you take him out.
All right.
You slice deep into his chest and pull out your sword all bloodied. What are you going to do next, if anything?
I'm going to nod at Dorio and use the rest of my movement to move forward to the door. Is the door broken down, or is it?
No, it's a passageway. Or no, it is a door. Sorry, it'd be open. They just never bothered to
Okay.
close it.
Well, that
I'm
door we
going.
did actually smash down last
Yeah,
time we were
that's
here.
what I
They
was
actually
asking.
fixed it.
Oh, okay. In that case, no, it's still smashed down.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna come up to the side too, so anybody else wants to launch ranged weapons or anything, but we'll be ready to enter next. Get everybody in here.
Okay.
For some
All right,
reason,
Galen,
get it again.
you've heard the screams of one of the assassins hitting the ground. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna move up and make sure not to step on the thing. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure who this guy is. Assassin 1, I guess, but I'm gonna shoot Assassin 1. I can't see his health bar. Is he decently high?
He's still at full. He's the one that hasn't been hit yet.
Then I'm gonna hit him with a guiding bolt of uh radiant power, I think.
Okay. Is that an 11?
Yeah, that should be an 11.
Okay, so in that case, you miss and
Oh,
hit the shelf right next to him.
Don't you have something with the gods that grant you some additional dice or something?
yes, I have favored by the gods, which I will use and add 2d4.
Okay. And that is enough to make it hit.
Yeah.
15 damage. So yeah, good hit.
Thank you.
His health bar should be visible, but I think it's just buried in wolves.
Yeah, it's just covered in wolves.
Actually, let's see. Can I send him to the front? Do you see it now?
Yes.
Cool. All right, is that the end of your turn?
I'm gonna go ahead and move out of the way over here.
Fair enough. All right, Assassin 2. What is he gonna do? You hear him yell out as his free action. If you do not retreat, we will kill the prisoner. And then at this point, he is going to attack one of the wolves. All right, he has multi-attack. So that's an 8 and a 26. The 26 hits. So he does 5 to the wolf, which is not enough to kill it. The wolves have 11 health, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah. So I'll just
Yes,
have to
they do.
remember once he gets down to that, because I'm using the wrong token. Anyway, so that was his attacks. Then the other assassin turns and attempts to attack the same wolf. And 24 and 11. What does the wolf's AC again? 13. Okay, so he only hits with 1. And the wolf takes another 5 points. Some pretty low rolls. Crap. Okay, no problem. We'll just deal with it this way. So this wolf has, let's see, 14. No, sorry, 6. And then this wolf has 6. Okay, fair enough. All right, so that's those two guys. So Devok, you heard the assassin saying they're going to kill the prisoner if you don't retreat, but they started attacking wolves. One of the assassins has been killed. What are you going to do?
I'll move forward and shoot Assassin 1 in the corner.
All right.
With the Eldritch Blast.
You hit, and you hit again. For
11.
11 points of damage.
And then I step off to the side.
All right. So you end up having to end in your own hex, so you probably want to go this way, or you can go on top of the barrels. Okay. Assassin 3. Oh, I totally forgot about that. They're with their buddies are right next there. Okay, so he attacks. He hits both times against one of the wolves. So that's a 5 and a 14. And the other thing I forgot is he actually gets his sneak attack. So that's
Does
a
he get a
21.
sneak attack if the other person took
So what?
took their turn already?
Sorry, say that again.
Does he get sneak attack if the other person took their turn already?
Yeah, he just has to have he just has to have an ally within 5 feet.
Ah.
Anyway, so what happens is the first wolf gets slaughtered. The second wolf takes 9 points of damage because he has to do because he used a sneak attack against the first wolf. So that means that that one has 3 hit points left. All right. So at the beginning of round 2, Oreo, you can hear combat in the other room. You heard one of the wolves cry out as it and a thud. What are you gonna do?
Jumping off the barrel shouldn't necessarily take me that much
No,
hex,
if
right?
you jump off, then it's just regular terrain. It's only when you're climbing up that it's rough terrain.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move up to here. Which one was it that you threw the thing on, Galen? The guiding bolt?
Number 1, the one in the back right corner.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and from this point, shoot one of my daggers at it.
Okay.
And I'll do it at advantage.
You hit.
And the wolves are considered my ally, so can I
Yes.
do it?
Yep.
And then
So
to
that's
this
22.
yeah, which one was the assassin that was well, I guess I didn't see, so I didn't know which one it was, but can I see the prisoner from this point?
Can you? I don't know. You probably can see a head sticking out. So up here.
So do I will get the impression that this is the guy that maybe said it, so I'm gonna use Whales of the Grave to do an additional sneak attack or half a sneak attack to that guy. So 7 necrotic to number 2, I guess.
Okay. Fair
And
enough.
then I am what I can't see is am I against the wall or is there something here that I can get onto?
There's a box here. That's what it looks like. It's just ground.
So 15.
So
So
you could
if
actually be
I
in this hex.
okay, so I'll go ahead and get to there and yeah, just that'll be my turn.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, Pico. At least one of the wolves has died, and you heard the pronouncement. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to go ahead and tell the wolves to attack and push forward. Well, let's actually no. I'm going to tell. I'm going to do this maybe in two groups. I'm going to tell the first four, the one that are in the front room, to go ahead and attack and fall back, and then the other ones that are in the room with the prisoner, I'm going to tell them to push forward and press the attack.
Okay, so you want these two to fall back and the others to push forward?
Basically, I want the first four to attack and then move towards us a few hexes.
Okay. Fair enough. So I'll go ahead and start the rounds of attack then. And not with that, because it got confused. D20 plus 4. So we'll just go ahead and do. So the first one hit, the second one misses, the third one hits, the fourth one misses. Okay, so that's 2 hits, so let's go ahead and do those damages. 4 plus 2. Alright, so 6 for the first one, 7, so that'd be 13 to this guy. Alright, so, and then so then he'll break, but he'll take an opportunity attack against the first wolf. Obviously, he can't do it against all of them. With a 14, he hits, doing 6 points, and that wolf. No, it's the wolf to the south that has 3. So that one's fine. So he has 5 points left. All right. So he moves back, and then he moves back, and then these two missed. So this guy will take an opportunity attack, and he got a critical hit on that wolf, killing it instantly. And then this one moves back, and then the assassin one takes his opportunity attack and misses. So there you go. And then you told the others to press the attack. So then
Yeah.
he moves forward to attack. This guy's going to move forward to attack, and this guy will attack. So they're all going to attack that one. And I really need to get proper wolves. I don't know why I can't find them. Because this is annoying. So 1, 2, 3. They all hit. 2d4 plus 2. 2, 3. So then that is 19 points of damage to that guy. Okay, so that's all the wolves. You notice that in the process of retreating, 2 of the wolves got killed. So you have 6 wolves left. What are you going to do?
And all 3 assassins attacked the wolves as they were backing off?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm triggering feline agility, and I'm going to go ahead and just carefully stepping over the tripwire. Go ahead and charge in. Let's see. Oh, this is wow. There's something weird going on with my computer. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it looks like I can get to the prisoner with 12 hexes of movement.
Okay.
Um, as I get to him, I am going to cast invisibility on him. And then I'm going to go ahead and are there eggs in
So
there?
go ahead and move your character over there so you can see what's over there.
Yeah, I'm trying
Oh,
to.
okay.
Um,
And yes, what you see there is actually there.
all right. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cast invisibility on the hostage. So go ahead and mark that down.
So
And
if you're going to carry him, then you're going to move at half movement.
I realize that I only get 1 hex, but I'm basically going to go ahead and pull him over to here and try to keep him behind me.
Okay. Fair enough. That the end of your turn?
That's it.
All right. Ragu, you saw Pico bolt past you. You saw some of the wolves die. What are you going to do?
All right, I'm going to run in. Where is Char? Did he not get
Good
down below?
question. I can bring him down if he would have came with you. So
Yeah.
there he goes.
Thank you. Okay, I am going to. Oh, okay. I'm going to step in. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to run over this way. And attack assassin number 1 there.
Okay, so you're climbing onto the desk.
Sorry, say that again. Hello.
So you're climbing onto the desk.
Well, yeah, because the wolf's right there, so that would be helping flanking, right?
Okay, so it costs you an extra hex because the climbing up would count as rough terrain. So, but just that first hex. So, make sure you have an extra hex of movement to get there.
6. Okay, yeah, that would be 6, all of my movement.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I will swing away.
You hit for 15 points of damage. Man, you hit hard.
And then I will swing again, second attack.
Yep, that hit again.
20.
And
Okay.
another 10. Not quite enough to kill him, but man, you really hurt him.
Yeah, but I'm about to punch him with my new knuckles.
And you hit again. Can you do at least 5 points of damage? You punch him in the face so hard that you hear a crack as his head bends backward at an unnatural 90-degree angle, and he dies. Is that the end of your turn?
And Char is going to fly in and flitter past assassin number 3, and then fly into the corner, giving the next person to attack assassin 3 advantage.
All right. Galen, you saw Ragu go and chop up one of the assassins and punch him in the face so hard that it broke his neck and and his head is just kind of hanging there. What are you gonna
Oh
do?
God.
Oh, actually, curiosity, is it too late for to do this? As soon as he dies, Oreo would like to turn her fist again and then turn it up. What does she see in her palm?
She sees.
It affects anything within 30 feet. That's all I was like, oh, snap.
Oh, okay, fair enough. She sees a black marble.
Sweet! And she's just gonna attach it to the rest of the little
Not
charm
just
bracelet.
O snap, O neck snap.
All right, Galen, what are you gonna do?
I am going to step out for my cover. I see Assassin 3 here. I'm not actually moving in, I'm just going in to check their health bars. Okay. I can't really see Assassin 2 from this angle, so I'm just gonna hit Assassin 3 with, I think, a firebolt.
Okay. You hit.
Advantage. Oh, yeah, you hit anyway.
Yeah.
All right, 8
Well,
points of
might
damage.
as well roll to see if you crit.
All right, sure. I did not.
Okay, so 8 points of damage it is. Is that the end of your turn?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm gonna step back in my hidey hole. I'll be ready. I think that's it.
All right. Assassin 2, he probably saw Pico run past, so he is going to continue to chop at the wolves with the idea of getting past them. So let's see. Yeah, so these guys are. That guy's hurt, so he has 6 points. So let's see if he can finish him off. So he hits him, does exactly enough to finish him off, and then steps forward and takes his second attack against the other wolf. But fortunately for that wolf, he misses. Devok, you can see the assassin working his way toward the back. What are you going to do?
I'll step out and shoot Assassin 3.
Okay. The first one
And
misses, and the second one misses.
yeah, that's my turn.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Assassin 3 is going to step and attack the wolf. And he actually has his sneak attack if he hits. First one misses, second one hits. So he does 4 plus 19, and the wolf's dead. All right, we are now at the beginning of round 3. Oreo, you can see that there are a lot less wolves now. You can see that the assassins are heading toward the back room. You cannot see Pico. What are you going to do?
She's gonna jump down, make it this way, pick up her dagger along here, and then go and hit the one up north first.
Okay.
Um,
You hit.
and is that a ally in the back there or no?
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is. It's
technically
a
it's Pico
wolf.
there too,
It's a
but
wolf at the up here. So yeah, you get your sneak attack if you
sweet.
want it.
That, and I'm gonna do Wells of the Grave again for Assassin 3, so that much more for the Assassin 3, and then I'm gonna offhand hit the first assassin that I was attacking.
Okay. Yep, you stab him for 6 points, but 6 points is exactly what he had. So you stab him in the neck, and he starts bleeding. And at first, he doesn't realize he's dead, but he does slump over.
Give me a sec here. I want to do something. Just checking my distance. This. Yep, I have enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and block the way there, and that'll be it.
All right. All right, Pico, you can see Oreo kind of step to block the passageway. You've heard the assassin die. The prisoner is still bound. He's invisible, but you've kind of moved.
He's not actually. I realized the hard way. That's going to be there'd be a concentration conflict. So I can't actually make him invisible.
Okay, so
So
he's not invisible, but he is bound, and you put him behind you. So what are you going to do? Oh, one other thing is you notice that a couple of the eggs seem to be moving, and you hear the occasional cracking.
yeah. Yeah, damn it. There's too many things to need to do all at once. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to trigger Boots of Speed for this. Actually, first, I'm going to tell the wolves to attack Assassin 3 and then pull back to Galen.
Hello.
Okay, so I guess I'll just do that. So they're all gonna rush in to attack, and then they'll leave. Alrighty, so that's quite a few wolves, so they might be able to finish them. We'll see. So first one hits, second one gets a crit, third one hits, fourth one gets a crit. So 2 crits and 2 regular hits. That's 2. So that's 14 from the regular hits. And then that would be 44 and 24 from the crits. They go to retreat and leaving an assassin that is unfortunately still alive. Is that the end of your turn?
Nope. At this point, I am going to trigger the. I'm going to trigger the boots of speed and dragging the guy behind me. I'm going to come along, and I'm going to go ahead and try and cast Booming Blade on this assassin.
Okay, go for it.
I got to sort this list better. Oh, that's right. It's still a regular attack. So main claws. Okay, 24. That
That hits.
hits. Okay, so it's going to be 7
And
plus.
you kill him. He falls to the ground dead.
All right. We got eggs here, and they're hatching.
I rush in to start doing the grape dance on these guys.
And I'm going to pull the prisoner into the main room here. Or maybe not the main room, but the barrel room.
Okay, so Oreo, you go in and you start hatching eggs, or smashing eggs, I should say. And as you're doing so, you see one of the hatchlings pop out.
Damn it. Stab!
So we're going to go ahead and move to you. So go ahead.
Ah,
Did I miss my
You
turn?
stab it. And
yeah,
you
Ragu
kill it,
would've-
and Ragu and everybody else, you hear an explosion.
God damn it.
Of
course.
So go ahead and
What
make
is
a
it,
DC 10 deck save.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You would have gotten 6 points of damage, but you managed to dive out of the way. Otherwise, you are able to smash the eggs before more come out, and so I'm going to end combat.
No. I thought we were out of combat. That's why I think he moved the order there, Tyler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I got confused for a sec because I was going to rush in too, but
Well,
Mhm.
basically,
Here.
what happened is as soon as she rushed in and one of them hatched, we essentially re-entered combat. So I just resumed the initiative order from Wario since she was right there. So that's why it was confusing. Theoretically, I should have had everybody re-roll, but I didn't think it was worth the time.
No.
All right, so what do you guys do? The prisoner, by the way, is unconscious.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and try and wake him up.
Okay. You
Is there
do
anything
so.
else in this room here, like the chests and stuff?
You try, but he apparently has been knocked out pretty good. You can see a bruise on his forehead where they've obviously smashed him in the head. So despite your efforts, he is still unconscious.
All right.
No, I asked about the chests and stuff.
It's really nothing new from last time. It looks like there's some new
nothing the
supplies,
assassins had here.
there's some food and whatnot, but it looks like, from what you're able to tell, they haven't really made a base of operations out of this place beyond just hiding out the prisoner. You do recognize it from last time you were here, though.
Do you have any of those berries there with you, Pico? Maybe that would help him up.
I don't have any at the moment. I'd have to
Oh, never mind.
summon some up. Might have Galen try his healing kit in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll heal up everybody.
I don't think anybody's really badly hurt.
No, yeah. No, none of us are hurt.
Oh. Well, it's just the dogs then. Should I look at the where's the guy?
He's under Pico.
Under Pico. Okay. I'm just gonna do a quick examination on him to make sure they didn't like poison him or do anything like that.
And I guess we can get rid of the wolves at this point.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a medicine check, Galen.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, you can tell he, from what you can see of his face color, it looks like he's been drugged, and
Mhm.
it looks like whatever they gave him apparently wasn't good enough because they also smashed him rather hard in the head. He may have a concussion.
Oh my. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if there's anything I can do to cure a concussion, but I'm gonna do my best with my healer's kit to try and help him with his head trauma. We're gonna have to take him either back to the our apartment or to a healer's place. We can't have him just walking around super concussed. Also, I probably want to see if we can get the stuff they drugged him with out of his system.
But one thing though, isn't this supposed to be some prominent guy from one of the houses? We can't
Oh,
just
he's
throw that out
fine.
here with a freaking nobleman.
Well,
That's true.
we can't say we rescued him, delivered him safely back to his house.
I think. I mean, I think we want to keep this low profile for the moment. Want to debrief him first, and we might want to consider that we might be able to manipulate this in some other way. We don't necessarily want the conspirators to know of their failure, or at least not in the conventional
Okay,
sense.
good thinking. We can, yeah, take him back to the apartment or something.
Yep, possibly, and then figure it out from there. But yeah, I mean, he might be able to help us figure out ways to sneakily discredit the houses involved. Um,
I still am with the opinion that how are we gonna take a nobleman out of a well and out of this district of the town without people going like, who is
It's a
that?
nobleman, yeah, that's fair.
well, he doesn't have to look like a nobleman. In
We can
fact, he doesn't even.
also, it seems like they have a pretty decent setup down here. What if we just waited down here until he regained consciousness? It's not like we have to come out right now.
Yeah, that's another one.
True enough. Although we should probably search this place. I am bothered by the fact that not only did they start using it again, but they started using it as another hatchery.
Hmm. They have a lot of hatcheries, it seems. Did we
Yeah.
ever
Uh,
tell the Nexus about that other hatchery?
And no, we were gonna do that when just before we left to the expedition, which would be tomorrow, in game tomorrow, but we're not there yet.
I'm
Okay.
thinking we should talk to Carl immediately about this because
yeah.
thinking about it, if there's more stuff like this and that other hatchery is rumored to have an adult or almost an adult, I'm not sure we want to risk just leaving something like that alone for possibly a week.
Well, no, no,
Um,
no, no, no. That's not the point. That I think we all came to the consensus last session that we don't want to go into an army of these things and then go to the expedition with a bunch of no spell slots, no like super hurt and everything, right? So the idea was to tell the guild before we left so they can handle it while we're gone.
Hmm.
And then everybody was on the agreement that they were strong enough to handle it at this point.
yeah, that was
And
indeed what we
as
thought before. I'm just starting to have a little bit of second thoughts seeing the scale of this and remembering that, you know, I mean, think about it. Our very first encounter with the Kylon, they were preying on villager or commoners, and we found other dead people already. So I want to see how confident Carl is about this. I mean, yeah, we want to be fresh going to Delsara City, but we might want to consider that this might be a problem that's not good to let wait.
All
and
right.
not only that, we do not have to stay down here. I grabbed one of the cloaks from one of the dead assassins, throw it over our unconscious noble. See, nobody recognize him. Put a little dirt on his face. It's not like he's
Uh,
a big movie star.
I don't know. We also need to be careful about not just the people or the guards, but like the people who like the beggars are probably going to report back to their bosses, and there might be another group that's going to come down and
Well,
investigate, or
yeah.
there might already be people watching the well.
Well, that's just it. The people watching the well got rounded up, but as soon as somebody realizes they're gone, somebody else will be watching the well.
Hmm.
So the less time we spend in the well, the better, because they'll see us
Yeah.
come out. If when they get over to there, we only have a little window, and if they do send somebody here to investigate, we don't want to be here. So we do need to get some out and get going.
I agree, but let's search this place first,
Yes, yes.
and the assassins.
Okay. All right. So searching the assassins, you can see that they have very little on them beyond their clothing. They actually, I should tell you what they actually do have as far as equipment. Let me find the assassins real quick. Assassin. No, what it is today with me and finding things. There we are. All right, so the assassins will have short sword. They'll have crossbow with some bolts. They'll have studded leather armor and cloaks. They have masks, but that's about it. They seem to have been come. They've dressed really light.
Well, they're dressed good enough to be our new contractors. Good luck. Did you need some
And then, as
replacements?
far as in the equipment, you do see food, you see some blankets, and you find a lantern with some oil. Um, but it looks like they haven't restocked this place.
Any documentation or anything?
Nope. It looks like this desk at once point had documentation, but it looks like it's all been removed.
And the desks are still, or I mean, the chest is still empty.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I do like the idea of leaving contractors here to deal with whoever shows up later.
And they were so nice they actually have masks so that everybody gets to think they're like normal until they get up close.
Although maybe Devok's better off saving his resources. How do you feel, Devok?
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, and at least you still got some of those other contractors back home. All right, well, if the hatchery is cleared, um, shoot, we should probably do something with these bodies. If we're not gonna zombify them, we might want to again kind of leave a bit more mystery as far as what happened.
And as you
Can we
guys
put them
are
in these
talking,
barrels?
you hear voices percolating from up above. They're hard to make out from inside, though. But it sounds like a old lady and a guard, or at least somebody with a voice of authority.
Hmm.
Um, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to that.
Okay, so you're gonna go like to the entrance here.
Yeah,
Okay, you
carefully stepping over the tripwire.
yeah, you go to the entrance, and above the well you can kind of see the shadows, and you hear it's like, I told you, they I saw people. They went in the well. They waited until I wasn't looking, but they don't realize that I was still looking. It's like, what people? Why would anybody go down in a well? It makes no sense. I tell you, they went in there. It's like, fine. He looks down the well. You see this guard face kind of looking down the well. You see him kind of moving the bucket around. There's no one down in this well. What are you talking about, you old lady? It's like, you take my word for it. They're in there. Whatever. Go home. Tell you what, we'll have somebody keep a watch for a little while, but if we don't see any people, we're just leaving. Fine. And then you hear footsteps.
Hmm.
God,
All
I
right,
hate old people.
I'm gonna give that a minute, and then I'm gonna have Fire Lily turn invisible. It's like, could you go ahead and perch up there somewhere and just keep an eye on the situation.
Okay, so Fire Lily, goes to the top. Are you looking through his eyes, or you just have him telepathically communicate?
I'm gonna look through Fire Lily's eyes after she's in position.
Okay, so
Just
what you see is once you get above the well, you're invisible, right?
yeah, or
Um,
she is.
yeah. Once you get above the well, you see a solemn-looking guard sitting on one of the benches near the well, kind of just staring at the well. You can look at, based on the look on his face, he's like, "Why do I have to be here? This is so stupid." But he's looking at the well nonetheless. And then you see a window open in the house with that old lady that talked to Oreo. And you can see the windows open, and you see this old lady just standing there, staring at the well.
Hmm. I'm gonna have Fire Lily go ahead and go land on the roof above the woman, uh, and because was it a multi-story building?
No, just single story.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Close enough. And then I'm just going to have Fire Lily say, "Oh, look! Now they're climbing in a hole in the bushes."
Okay, and then the guard looks toward the voice, and what does he see?
Just the lady at the window.
He walks. So you see him walk up. What did you say? And the lady, she's on the other side of the window. You could see she's just kind of shaking her head. What did you come out here, old woman? And she walks out. What? I didn't say anything. He's like, you said something about bushes. What do you say? I didn't say anything about bushes. What are you talking about? They went in the well, and they start arguing. What are you guys gonna do?
Wait for them
Uh,
to deem that she's crazy and then leave.
Okay, so
Maybe we
is that
should go invisible or really sneak when we're coming out because I don't want her to be a problem.
all right? So yeah, they argue for a good minute, and the guard finally says, "You know what, old lady? I'll send a guard to check up on your welfare tomorrow, but I'm leaving." No, they went in the well. I told you there were people in the well. Whatever. And he stomps away, and she's just standing there, Pico, with just staring out her window at the well as the guard walks away.
I wonder if maybe it's a good idea that maybe we should take the assassin clothes and actually come out as assassins. That's how they went in, right?
I mean, maybe,
I
but we
think
don't
she's
want to get
referring
this
to
too
us in the well.
confusing. Yeah.
No, and
I
yeah,
don't think
we could really mess with her. We don't have to make it too confusing. We can all come out, smile, and wave now that the guard is gone, and then she'll run off. I saw him come out of the well again. Nobody will believe her.
Fair enough. So are we going to settle for regular disguise for the for our friend here, or do we want him to be um, more concealed? I can turn him invisible.
If you can, and it's not gonna be I mean, what level spell slot is that though?
It's a second level slot, so that's
Yeah.
easier for me to replenish.
Oh, you can replenish that, not within a long rest?
Yep. The yeah, that's I have two second level warlock slots, so I can
Ah,
actually cast it with that.
okay. I mean, if you can, and it's not gonna harm the overall like spell slot thing, then yeah, that's probably better.
And I was originally going to turn him invisible anyway, so but yeah, that way it'll be easier to deal with that. So all right. Although probably Ragu, you're going to need to carry him out.
No problem.
All
Well,
right.
if I'm carrying him out, can I just hang him over my shoulder and minor illusion a backpack?
Basically, you don't even have to do that part of it.
Yeah.
Although it'd make it look more convincing, I suppose. But yeah, nobody's going to see him.
Yeah, he is invisible because Pico cast invisibility on him.
Okay, yeah, then I'll just minor illusion, like a sack or duffel bag I've got over my shoulder as I'm carrying him.
All right. So let me go ahead and move you guys to the map because as you leave, you notice that while the old lady is staring out her window.
Oh, actually, if we're gonna mess with the old lady, I know exactly what we're gonna do. Um, since I had Fire Lily up there, I saw what the guard looked like, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to disguise myself as the guard.
Okay.
Oh my
So
god.
you come out and she's staring at you as you come out of the well. No wonder she comes out waving her cane at you. No wonder you claimed you didn't see anybody. You're a part of it. What are you doing going in the well? Nobody should go in the well. Why? What are these? Who are these people? You should arrest them. You should arrest yourself. What do you say? What do you do?
You wanted me to look in the well. I looked in the well. And now you're mad I looked in the well?
Well, look, you found these people. They shouldn't be in the well. Arrest them.
Well, I took them out of the well, and I am taking them with me.
Well, they're not chains.
I didn't have any chains. Unfortunately, they're on the honor system.
Honor system. She rushes back to her door and slams it behind her, and you hear, "Honor system."
Excuse me, prisoners, would you please pretend you're wearing chains? And then we go ahead and leave.
All right.
I'm going to duck somewhere to get out of view and change back to normal form and then pop back over.
All right. All right. So you've left. Where are you gonna go?
I really feel like we need to talk to Carl. Actually, yeah, let's just maybe we should bring this guy to the Nexus Guild. Well, we still need to talk to him. Yeah, let's get him somewhere safe first, then go to the Nexus Guild.
Let's take him to the apartment where I can work on him a little bit, ask him, we can debrief him and then take him home.
All right. Although we might not take him home immediately, because again, we might be able to make this plan backfire on the conspirators somehow.
Sure. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're going back to your tavern rooms.
Yeah.
All right. So you arrive. Your spell lasts for an hour, so you are able to get back before the invisibility wears off, and you find yourself in your room. So what do you do?
All right. Well,
I'm just
once
gonna
we
start looking after our man, our guy.
and this is probably a good time to untie him. I'll release the invisibility as well. Didn't bother to untie him initially, just because it seemed like a more convenient way to keep him from flopping around if he's not awake.
Fair enough. All right, so yeah, you untie him. You can see that his wrists and ankles are bruised where he was tied up. It looks like he was tied pretty tight, but he is definitely still unconscious. And Galen, what were you saying?
I was just saying that I was gonna look after him for a while. Do
Okay.
whatever I can to help with the head bonk and the drugs they gave him.
All right, you can go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Does somebody want to help me out here just for a second, or are you all busy?
Sure, I can help you.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Allow me to offer my expert guidance.
Thank you. Let's see if I'll need it. What was the guidance give me again? Extra
D4 to your roll.
All right, 27.
All right. So you wind up taking some herbs and from from one of your medicine kits. So go ahead and mark off one usage,
Yep.
and you wind up being able to apply, to help improve his condition. It looks like the concussion got him, or the hit got him pretty bad. But after about half an hour, you do manage to get him to wake up. So in that half an hour, obviously Devok and Galen are busy trying to treat the the captive or ex-captive. So what's everybody else doing during that period?
Quick one for me. Is there any nearby place where I could buy blank journals?
Um, yeah, you could probably about 5 minutes each way, so probably about 10 minutes. You can go and pick up one for about a silver.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up 3 of them. And that wipes me out of silver. All right. Then I'll go ahead and head back.
Does that actually wipe you out of silver?
It does.
Oh wow.
I actually, in all denominations, I have a total of 22 coins on me.
They all platinum now?
No, 5 of them are 7 gold, 10 copper.
Okay. Okay, so that is Pico. What's everybody else doing? Oreo and Ragu,
Um,
if anything.
I mean, I guess we're just gonna stay put. There's no plans tonight to do anything, right? Just want to be sure.
Not yet, but that's going to... Oh, I'm not there yet.
Well, no, I'm asking out of character because this will determine
Oh.
whether she stays or not.
Well,
might
there's
be.
a possibility, depending on what Carl has to say, and maybe if we do some recon, maybe dealing
Yeah,
with
I think we
the
should.
pylon thing, we
So,
don't
so,
know.
so we are going to Carl's tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
think,
think we
or,
should tell him as soon as possible.
yeah,
Okay, so
basically
I'm
as soon as
just
we've talked to
gonna.
this guy.
Then yeah, I'm gonna stay.
Okay. And Ragu, what were you saying?
I'm going to go back to my apartment and just see what I can see with some of this Lumev stuff.
I heard you're going back to your apartment to see what you're going to do, but I didn't hear anything after that.
Oh, sorry, to see what I can do with some of this Lumev stuff. Like I can, without messing with it, closely examine the cylinder weapons because you said some of them have a dent in them and others don't. See what the other Lumev artifacts are that might be helpful. Um,
Okay. All right. So yeah, you start examining those to see if you can learn new details. And then at some point, the half an hour passes. Pico, you arrive back. Oreo, you're still there. Ragu, you're busy. And then Galen, the person wakes up and he kind of looks around. Who are you?
My name is Galen. We just saved you from some people who had captured you. Take a moment to rest, but we're hoping to ask you some questions.
He
I hope
holds
you're
his
feeling all
hand
right.
up to his head where the bruise is, and he says, "That's that's good. I was captured. Um,
Yeah.
who? Wait. Who am I?
Oh no. Um,
Wait. I'm so confused. Where am I? And I was captured.
you
It's
might
all a
be
blur.
still, yeah, you're kind of concussed right now, so don't try and work yourself too hard. But there was a group that took you and hid you inside of a well, if you can remember that.
She kind of steps right beside Galen. He's like, "What's your name?"
I don't think he can remember right now.
Um,
He's been through a lot.
I don't I don't know.
What's
Does the
the
name
last thing
mark?
you remember?
Um,
Anything.
um, water.
I don't think it's
Okay.
just a concussion.
Hmm. He'd have to be pretty concussed, you're right. I'm gonna look at him again. It can't be. I got a nat 20 on my medicine, so this might be some magic stuff. Do people want to do some
I can help you with
nat?
Arcana,
Okay.
but you're gonna have to roll it because I only have a 4.
Can I do I don't know what roll you want me to make, but I kind of want to do a magical health check, if that makes sense, Jeremy.
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check
Okay.
if you have proficiency in it.
I do.
Do it at advantage. I'm
Um,
helping you out.
Okay.
and I will offer my expert guidance.
Thank you. All
Yeah, you're
right.
examining them, and
Yeah.
you get the impression, especially with that extra one, that um, some sort of magic was used on them, perhaps in the drink, in the drink or the drugging. Um, However, it's unclear what it was, and it is pretty clear that whatever it was, it's probably no longer in the system, but it definitely did some sort of damage.
Can I roll, can I do, I have apothecary. Could I do that to try and figure out some sort of cure to help him?
Um, you don't really have a clear idea of what the effects were because
Mm-hmm.
from the you know that they had some effects, but since this stuff seems to have run its course through a system, you still don't know what exactly is going on. So without that, it would be difficult to actually come up with a cure.
Okay.
So, Wilbur, does the name Artega, or I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but does that name mean anything to you?
He looks at you and he squints. No, who's that?
It's probably you.
Really? He holds his head. Really? Um, where am I from?
Let's see. Hold on, I know I've got that somewhere.
House Ratau.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Strange. Um, what is that, like a noble house?
indeed.
You would think if I was really part of something like that, I would remember.
Yeah, there seems to have been some form of magic drugging process that they used on you. We're gonna try our best to figure it out, but this is kind of complicated. Can I
Who?
get you like some water or something to eat in the meantime?
Water.
Okay.
Yes, water.
All right, I'll give him some water. Just try to make him as comfortable as possible for a little bit.
Okay. All right, so you're doing that. Rangu, as you're taking stock of your Luminev artifacts, you hear you hear Ortega, or at least who you assume is Ortega, speaking, but sounding rather confused from the other room. Uh, what do you do?
Hmm.
Tyler, can you hear
Well,
me?
um, yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I
Okay.
was trying to think for a second. Um, well, if you're sounding confused, I'll go ahead and grab my alchemist supplies and go back into the room, and I'll ask Galen. So, what do you think? He does not sound all right in the head, eh?
No, I think that when they drugged him to make him pass out or something, they gave him something probably magical that is messing with his memory. Whether they made him forget permanently or it's just gone for now, I have no clue.
And can I would I know to take like a drop of his blood or maybe some spit and my alchemist supplies to see if I can try and think of some sort of maybe antitoxin for whatever they gave him?
Um, you get the impression. Well, actually, Galen. Are you mentioning this out loud, or are you just something you're thinking?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
mentioning this
yeah.
out loud. I was already trying to use some apothecary measures as well, if you want to work on that with me, Ragu.
Okay,
I
so
think we can do that.
Galen, you're able to tell him that whatever the effect was, the thing affecting him is already gone,
Yeah,
and it's just did damage on the way out. So there's nothing to cure. I mean, there's no poison currently in his system to get rid of.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
In
it's just
that
kind of a
case, it
memory
might
thing.
be a. In that case, well, I can try. Maybe we can come up with something healing, but
I don't know. I'm not sure if there's too much we
otherwise
can
it
do
might
for
be a
mem
restoration magics. Oh,
I mean, yeah, I have
hold
lesser
on. I do have
restoration which I
something.
can use, but I don't think that'll help him
You're
here.
lucky we are here at the apartment. I run back over to my room for a second, and I come back with a flask. Using my alchemy supplies and a few drops from my flask of magic golden lumev water. Can I come up with something, a healing tincture to try and repair any damage to his mind?
You can certainly you can definitely make something like that, and if the damage is temporary, then it might work.
Okay.
So go ahead and
Yeah, I'm
give
not a.
me a alchemy roll.
All right. If you would care to assist me, Galen.
Yeah, I can help you. What should I roll for that? Can I roll apothecary? Is
No,
that
I'll
cool?
roll. I
Oh,
just need
okay.
to roll with advantage. I've got the
Yeah,
alchemy thing.
then I can help you with that easily.
Okay,
Okay. And did you need me? The I can copy and paste the water in just a second here. Hold on.
sure.
Advantage and well, I guess that settles that.
Okay, so you are able to make a concoction that you think would help. So I'm assuming you're going to try to get him to drink it.
Yeah, and
So
We should
as
tell him.
can go ahead.
as you kind of
Yeah.
hold it up, he looks at you. For some reason, he gets this kind of horrified look on his face, and he says, "No, just water."
I'm gonna talk to him. We think that this will help you with your memory, so please, for the sake of us and you, try to drink it.
He looks towards.
I promise it's fine. If you want, I can take a sip first as well. It's not gonna do anything damaging.
His eyes look kind of wild. Go ahead and give me a either probably a persuasion check.
Yeah.
At least you didn't
Okay.
have to make an animal handling check.
Yeah.
It is just
Let's.
like healing. It is all it is. Medicine, good for you.
Okay, he finally is like, okay, I'll drink some of it, and he reaches out with a shaky hand.
It's gonna be all right. You got it.
He drinks it, and it seems to soothe him. He looks around, and he stops shaking, and the bruise seems like it goes away.
That's
It
good.
just heals. Um, and then he hands it back, and he says, um, "Thank you. I I'm you said I am Ortega or something like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my head no longer hurts, but it's the memories. They're just it's empty. I just remember water.
Hmm. Okay.
So the impression you're getting, Ragu, is that your tincture healed any damage that's there, and it certainly healed his bruise, and his mind is in working order, but it can't heal what's not there.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's like his memories have been scrubbed. That's definitely some powerful restoration magic to get that back.
Yeah, I don't know.
And his family is very well off. I'm sure they can do this.
Do we want to take him to his family and just try to explain to
Not
them what happened?
not yet. I've actually got an idea that's pretty crazy here. Let's see what everybody thinks. Um, what? I mean, there's potentially some advantage to having the conspirators think that their plan succeeded, but obviously we don't want the houses involved to think that because we don't want that conflict to keep going on. So what if we had a way of talking to the heads of the households, let them know what's really going on, because then at that point they'd
And
have
keep
a
them,
vested interest in helping us.
but keep them hidden,
And if they
maybe?
play along and act like that conflict's going on, the conspirators could think they're doing something even when they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And my thinking is we don't really have an in with the houses, although if we bring Ortega to House Rateau, that'll get their attention. But I'm thinking, what if we manage to get Lord Valenstar, since he's obviously got a lot of influence, to broker a meeting here?
I'd definitely help and try to be a diplomatic presence there too. I like that. I think that's smart. We can kind of control some of the action.
Mm.
You want to bring a bunch of noblemen to random apartments in the middle of the city?
Well, we wouldn't go to random
No.
apartments. Hopefully, it would be like you said, brokered by
Yeah, we'd get Lord
Yeah.
Valenstar.
Valenstar to make the arrangements because that might be the only way we'd get an audience in the first place. Because even if we just show up with House Rateau and like we've got a gift for you, there's all sorts of ways that could go wrong. And if they've got people, I mean, even if things, even if nobody's hostile to us, if they've got moles on the lower end, that could still ruin things. So if we can work from the top, that feels like it worked better to me. So the idea is we have Lord Valenstar get their heads involved, and then that way they can sort of plan and to help kind of keep the ruse up. And this might also help smooth over some of this, because weren't those two houses, House Rateau and oh shit, I forget the name of the
House
one
Before
that was
Fairmore.
being
we
framed.
before we
House
even
Ratau
do
was,
this,
yeah.
can we
It
think
was House
about
Ratau and House Fairmore. And if, yeah, we can get them in the same room, then we can show them that it's two
So,
other houses,
as you guys are
Neowit and.
talking, you say House Fairmore, and as soon as you say that, Ortega suddenly he gets this kind of blank look on his face, and he says, "The scoundrels of House Fairmore beat me near to death." And they attacked and then his face goes blank and he shakes his head. What was I saying?
So
huh?
he's been brainwashed.
Yeah, that's not good.
We
So,
definitely have to be fixing this.
one thing, Gavin, you were about to say something. What was it?
So I was gonna say before we use Lord Valenstar to broker this peace, we should make sure that the Valenstar family doesn't have any bad blood with Ortega's family. But
I
yeah,
I don't believe that they do because those nobles were all invited to the Valenstar celebration. Because yeah, wasn't it the nobles from those two that threw that scene near the end of the party?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you'd think if he had bad blood, he wouldn't be inviting them to a celebration.
that's true. That's true.
And
Okay.
we are talking about, well, actually, where do House Rateau and House Fairmar sit in terms of the social order?
If you look on the actually no that's actually wrong. My bad. So yeah, they're actually toward the bottom. House Fairmar is actually higher than House Fertel at the moment, but they're definitely both far down from House Valenstar.
Okay,
Right. And
then
the
we can
important part is though
definitely.
they're not the displaced ones, right? They're just
No, that is Neil Witt and um, the other one escapes me at the moment, but the other one.
yeah.
Anyway,
Mordell.
yeah.
So yeah, so this being the case, I don't see these houses as being a threat to House Valenstar, again, as evidenced by being invited to the celebration. And this might also be an advantageous for Lord Valenstar to, maybe even consolidate more power, where he's even able to fix some of the bickering between some of these houses. My concern is his wife and freaking granddaughter. So, but
I have
uh,
nothing against the plans you guys are making. The only thing I'm gonna say is we have been set to leave on an expedition tomorrow.
Yeah.
So unless you guys have like amazing coordination to get everything done before then, or if you guys just want to convince Carl that we need more time here to do what we need to do, we need to figure that out first because we've got a timer essentially on us as to when we're leaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should
good
talk to
point.
Carl.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that
and we're
right
gonna
now.
need somewhere to keep this guy until he is
I mean,
healed
and we don't want to
because
just leave him alone. He's not in a state where
yeah,
that's okay. If you want, I can stay behind while you explain to Carl the situation. I can just
Hey,
send Piff over with you guys if you want to like talk with me or something.
yeah.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
that would,
isn't
but
Ire
still,
like
even
a
beyond that,
isn't isn't Ire like around too
Oh,
to
we
some
could have
degree?
Ire. I don't know if he's the best
yeah, he's at the
option to watch
apothecary
it.
with Sheila.
But maybe you use maybe have him babysit a little bit while we have the whole party over at Carl's. I think it'd be important the whole party be there.
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. You
yeah,
can have
and
Ire babysit.
we're definitely we're gonna definitely need somebody to keep an eye on him while we're gone in Lumev because we cannot let him go back to his family with this brainwashing in place. It will only exacerbate the bad blood between the two houses.
All right, well, let's go ahead and drop him off and then go ahead and meet with Carl.
Okay. So it probably takes you about an hour to get there, but with the going out of your way to go to the apothecary, of course.
Uh,
But once you do that, you arrive, and oh, there she is. Y-
And on the way, I'm going to be writing in one of those journals.
Let's see if we can notice what's her face. The chick who's super sneaky.
Elru?
Yeah.
You're not even there. She already passed by you apparently.
Oh, where
All
am I?
right.
Oh, there I am. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
Oh, there
you
she is. I
you
found her.
arrive, and
Is Devok there with us? I don't see his token.
who?
Yeah,
Devok?
Devok?
my
Oh,
token isn't there.
yeah, my bad. I forgot to drop you. Make sure I had an extra copy of Oreo here for some reason. All right, so yeah, you make your way there, and you see Elru kind of sitting on the steps, and she doesn't seem to look surprised that you're there, and she says, "Oh, you guys sure took your time getting here. I'm assuming you want to talk to Carl."
Yep, it's very urgent, as I'm sure you already know.
All right, come on in. He's waiting for you. So she takes you inside, and you see Carl sitting behind the desk. And then she says, "I'll be out here," and she closes the door behind her. And Carl kind of looks at you, and he says, "Well, I don't know what's going on, but according to Elru, you were heading this way, and you look like you were in a hurry. So I assume it's important. So what do you
Yep.
need?"
Well, we
Well, what
found
shall
more
we start with?
Kylon.
Yes.
Mm, he nods.
In fact, it was a nest that we had cleared out previously. And the reason we found this nest was we were locating a. Are you are you aware of a noble that has gone missing?
No, I had not heard of a noble going missing.
Well, there is one missing, and we found him. And the assassins guarding him also had a Hylon nest.
Do you know who these assassins are working for?
Let's see.
We do.
That was House Mordell.
Oh, but we can tell him about the group
Oh wait, hold on.
we were investigating too.
Yeah.
Yeah, House Mordeller and House Neilwit happen to be in with the Sword of Justice, and they've got their own machinations for gaining power, but apparently uh, House
So,
Neilwit is. Oh, go ahead.
so you came to me before and told me of the Gray Cult, and you had some lead on who the possible leader of that is. And now you tell me that the Sword of Justice is still active, and are they connected in any way?
Uh, that is unclear. There might be some bridges, but it is not as they are the same organization.
At
Yeah,
least it doesn't look like it.
so far we've been seeing the Sword of Justice associated rather heavily with the Kylon, whereas I believe we have not had any indication that the Grey Cult are working that way. They feel like two different plots.
Oh, joy. It's good to know that there's multiple groups with their own agendas, all striving to make our lives miserable.
Even more, considering that the Sword of Justice seems to consist of at least some of the disenfranchised noble houses.
Ah, that was one of the stupidest decisions the Empire ever made. Anyway, so you rescued this nobleman, and it sounds like you were able to get rid of the hatchery.
Yes.
Oh, don't tell him
But
that yet.
there's a
There's another
larger
one.
hatchery that we have to, that's an issue.
When you say larger, what do you mean?
Well, it sounds like there's more of them there, and we overheard someone boasting that one of them is nearly an adult.
He sighs. It's like, unfortunately, the situation is growing dire, and we cannot delay the expedition. However, if this hatchery is as big as you claim, then that cannot be left to fester. And we need you to be in decent shape on your expedition. So I am going to do something, but you cannot tell anyone. Is this, how would you phrase it, top secret? He digs around in a drawer, and you see him down there for quite a while. You can hear some clicks. There's multiple locks unlocking, and he just reaches really far back, and then he pulls out a bag, and he gingerly places the black bag on the table, and he says, I am entrusting these to you. And he opens the bag, and you see 6 crystals. They're very small, diamond looking crystals. And he says, one of the issues is that your spell, you spellcasters can only cast things. You only have so much energy, and each of these is worth at least 10,000 silvers, if not more. Um, and so what they do is they can restore some of that energy. And as he explains in magical terms, but in meta terms, each crystal um, it can be used once and then it's destroyed. And if it's used, it will restore one third level slot, or 2 second level slots, or 3 first level slots. And he says, with these, hopefully, you have the power to deal with this larger hatchery. We would like to send greater forces in, and if you cannot deal with it, then retreat and we will do so. But I feel like that would take too much time to organize, and who knows how many Kylon could escape in the meantime. So he kind of shoves the pile of crystals toward you, and we will heal you once tomorrow when you come for your expedition. We will make sure the healers deal with you. So that is the best I could do with this notice.
That is plenty, I think.
Beyond
I guess
that,
it's something we can do.
like I said, we cannot delay. We've delayed too long already due to all these matters. And while we have sent others there, none of the other groups can can stay long within Delsara City. From what you've described, and I have actually discreetly sent another to confirm things. And yes, very few could survive long enough there. So
Hmm.
we we need we need you to act quickly with this Kylon hatchery and still be ready to spend as much as a week in Lumev.
All right, that sounds good. Um,
I think we can do this.
while we're doing that, would you be able to look into House Rateau and see if they've had any word regarding any missing individuals?
Indeed, and we should be able to return the individual, and I am sure he can explain the situation and clear things up rather well.
Not really. He's been brainwashed, and in such a way that apparently the only thing he remembers is to essentially state, that a particular noble house had kidnapped him. Basically, he's got a script to frame the people who didn't actually kidnap him, but to cause issues between House Rateau and House Fairmar is one being framed.
Yeah, I can go ahead and share all the medical lingo with him. Like that there was like some form of weird magical drugging process that appears to have damaged his memory, and
I
we
see.
can't really find a way to heal it.
I see. So he will. We will have to have our best healers take a look. All right. We we actually have we've actually have a contract with the Temple of Gadrak. If you can
Hey,
deliver them, deliver him there, and I will give you a letter of introduction, and that will have the pertinent information as soon as I write it up. And you can, hopefully, they can take a look at him. However, we will need to inform House Ratau that has been recovered, but that he is in intense medical condition and he cannot be seen until his illness is dealt with. That
And make sure they understand that what little information he has is unreliable.
Well, I think it's easier to sound like he needs to be quarantined and cannot be seen at all.
Even better.
Galen,
Otherwise,
perhaps we should fill in.
people will take things as they will, as they're predisposed to, regardless of whatever warnings I may give them. So, uh, is any of you have any direct connection with Temple of Gadrak?
yeah, I'm a
Uh,
regular there.
Oh, good.
I
So,
do a lot of favors with them and work with them a lot.
you've got Paradin, don't you?
Yeah, I know Paradin. I used to know. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, we won't talk about that. But yeah, I have many friends there.
Or
good. Well, that will make the
or whatever.
introduction part unnecessary, at least. So I will ask that you deliver the nobleman there as discreetly as you can manage. And then, unfortunately, I'll need to ask you to deal with the hatchery.
Okay.
We'll get started on that immediately.
And tomorrow, before your expedition, I your items that you normally arrive when going up a rank. It was delayed, so tomorrow we will deal with that before you leave as well. So for becoming masters, you will gain the ability to gain an additional item. But I am still dealing with some issues higher up getting that together. So we will talk about that more then. He looks, as Carl looks at you, you can tell he looks very tired. And then he kind of just shakes his head. It's like, is there anything else?
No, but I know that feeling all too well.
Very well. And just so you know, not to add any pressure, but if we do not find this weapon, the Empire is doomed. So, good luck and don't die.
Thank you.
Oh, and need to know only, please do not tell anybody else of the weapon or the imminent Kylon danger either. We do not want to spook the masses.
I can assure you that we are not among the Grey Cult's projects for sowing civil unrest and discord.
Very good.
All right.
And then Elra opens the door and is like, okay, well, I good luck. And
We'll need it.
she leads you out.
As we're leaving, she'll turn to Ragu and just point out her daggers, hoping that he gets what she's talking about.
He snaps his fingers, almost finger gunny, but not quite, and zaps them both.
Cool. Thank you. Puts them away.
All right, I'll take you back to the map. So
I guess I wasn't quick on the draw.
you've just left the Nexus Guild. So what are you gonna do?
Galen, do you want to head to the temple ahead, just to prepare everybody for the arrival of our friend?
Sure. I don't know if we'd really need to do much preparing. I can probably just walk him over.
I've had a little different idea in mind. Let's bring him on
Oh,
the
okay.
wagon.
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll go. I'll take the letter and talk with the people there.
Okay, so you arrive, Galen. You arrive at the temple. Are you going by yourself, or are you taking somebody else with you?
I mean, if somebody else wants to come, that's fine. I don't really think there's any, like, a super big need for somebody else to come.
Okay, fair enough. So you arrive at the Temple of Gadrak.
What time is it, by the way? Is it too late, or are we?
No, you guys started fairly early. It's been a couple hours, so it's probably 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you arrive at the temple, and I didn't hear anybody else volunteering to go, so for now I'm assuming you went by yourself.
Okay.
So what do you do?
I'll walk up to the temple. I see that Gadrak is talking to Willem. Was Willem the guard who likes to stand out here?
Yeah, but you also see Paradins having some sort of conversation with them at the moment.
Alright, I'll wait then. I guess at a respectable distance
Okay,
while he's
so
done.
yeah, you wait there, and then Paradin kind of looks up and notices you, and then he kind of waves you over.
Alright.
Oh, welcome, my son. How can I help you today?
More bad news, I'm afraid. As it always is these days. I'll hand him the letter from the Nexus Guild and say this was sent by my superiors in the Nexus Guild. We have another problem with a medical concern.
I
You can even
see, and he
call it
is to
this.
be quarantined. Oh, this does look serious. This isn't super clear on exactly what is wrong with the fellow, though. Do you have any thoughts there?
Yeah, I was working with him as much as I could. He had received a concussion and gotten hit in the head pretty badly, which I was able to fix pretty easily. But there was a more pressing concern in that the people who took him appeared to have drugged him with some type of magical poison, I guess, that has damaged his memory so that he has almost amnesia, but he also seems kind of brainwashed. So he says this script every once in a while if you bring up one of the noble houses. It's really confusing for me. I couldn't figure out any way to fix it.
Oh, this sounds problematic. But all right, as the letter says, we do have a bit of understanding with the Nexus Guild, so this won't be a problem. So have him delivered as quickly and discreetly as possible, and he will be quarantined until we figure out what to do. Which means that outside of myself and the healers, no one else will be able to see him.
Okay,
And
wonderful.
according to this letter, it is a highly contagious disease that can spread among the populace and can cause rather bad illness and even death. So it is very important that no one sees him. Um,
Yes,
it
that's not entirely
he
sure. You
nods.
wouldn't have to,
I
yeah.
know it is unfortunate to speak so, knowing the truth, but it is nonetheless what we will make the truth.
I understand the pain in saying this, but it is very necessary that that needs to be said just to properly maintain equilibrium and help the people of the city to the best of our abilities.
Well, thank you for entrusting me with this, Galen. You have done well. And if you ever decide to become a priest, you can always come here and become part of this flock.
Oh, I'd love to, and I'm sure I'll be back when I can, but right now there are more pressing things that need me.
So be it. Oh,
While he's doing that, we'll get the our VIP, get him on the wagon, um, and then basically kind of disguise him as payload. Covered with things so people don't see the passenger.
all right. So yeah, you go and you go to put him in the wagon, and he kind of looks horrified seeing this darkened interior, and it's like, I'll stay here, thanks.
Oh,
No, these
I don't
people
think you
have.
understand, my friend. You're coming with us.
No,
no.
wow. No,
No,
we're gonna take you somewhere to help, and I'll tell you what. I will stay with you, and shoot, let's see. Yeah, and in fact, I'll even use my produce flame just so that we can see underneath, so you can see that everything's fine. I'll be with you, and we'll take you somewhere. We're going to take you to a temple where they'll be able to make sure that you're taken care of and maybe even restore your memory.
He looks dubiously at the wagon as you try to convince him. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
I could really use my own expert guidance because this probably isn't going to go well. But persuasion,
ugh,
hold on, probably still not good enough. But 12.
Okay. He's he. It seems like he's barely convinced. It's like, okay, but as you try to get him to the wagon, you find yourself having to kind of coax him a little with a little bit more force than you would rather use. But you are able to get him into the wagon.
I'll be waiting
Uh,
for you guys outside of the temple, wherever you
okay.
were planning on pulling up.
And I'll stay with the guy under the cover there and just try and idle chit chat just to kind of keep him distracted from what's going on.
Okay, yeah, he looks around nervously, and there's something about the dark space even with the light, that it just he seems to give him trouble.
Hmm.
All right, so you make your way. Nothing really happens, and then you arrive at the Temple of Gadrak, and he seems to be eager to get out of the wagon.
Hmm.
You don't have to coax him at all to do that.
Hmm.
And once you get out, Paradin and looks like a couple of priests are there waiting, and they
Oh, just to kind of sell this, I'm going to go ahead and use prestidigitation to basically just put red spots on his face.
okay. And then you see the priests kind of surround him, and you can see that they have a stretcher, and they have him lay down, and then they surround him as they pull him in, and you can hear him speaking, "Highly contagious. Step away if you value your life." And they take him inside the temple and into one of the rooms at the very back. And then Paradin comes out. Thank you for delivering him quickly before he can infect the larger city. We do not want the plague, or a major plague, running through the populace. And you notice that as he's saying this, he's actually saying it loud enough that the people around can hear. And he says,
Hmm.
"You have saved countless lives this day." So what do you do?
We go ahead and head off, I think, before we get any cooties.
Alrighty. All right. So you leave the Temple of Gandrak. It's about probably about 3 in the afternoon. So what do you do?
All right, well, if we think the hatchery is under the Blackstone Blade, I guess we're going to need to head there.
Okay.
Anybody got any preparations they need to make first?
Maybe. Let me think for a second.
Tyler, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I said just a second, Pico. Should I go make preparations while you? Okay. Um, should I go make preparations while you find a way into the underground portion of the building with your little friend, or do you think I should be here on scout?
Um, Probably all want to be ready to in case we need to move in quickly. The Yeah, I can't think anything special we need to worry about. Devok, actually, Devok, do you think you want to have your contractors involved?
Sure, we can do that. But I might want to make more of them actually, because I don't have very many right now.
Well,
But
that
has the week ended since I made my last ones?
We've had a
Because
long
if
rest, haven't we?
yeah.
I wasn't here for a lot of it, so if we
Okay.
did, then I can make more. But if we didn't, then I can't make more.
Yeah, because after the explosion thing, we did all our training and yeah, had a long rest, so all your spell slots should be back to full.
Okay. Oh, you guys trained? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I can make more.
All
As
right.
for our level up, have
I
you leveled
forget
up?
how many did you have? 3 before?
I think so.
There's 3 more in the well, and then I think we have a few more. Hold on. We might have a few more bodies hiding somewhere else for you.
Pretty sure I can make 6 more with all my spell slots.
Well, actually, you had one of these guys. Or did he die? I think no. Never mind. He died. That's why I'm confused. Okay. All right. So how many are you making?
6?
Okay. So we had basically that rule where you can control up to 8 creatures. So
Yeah.
you have 3 already. So
Oh,
you can
never mind.
make 5 more. So you want to do that?
Sure.
So that would give you 8 total.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, remember your upkeep and all that when it gets time. Okay, so yeah, okay, so you have eight zombies. However, once you make the new zombies in the well, how do you get them out?
Can't we
Um,
bring them up as dead bodies and just luggage, and then make them?
Yeah, we'll have the wagon there to carry them away.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so you lug them in the wagon and you carry them away, and then you summon them, or not summon them, but raise them as zombies. All right, so you have 8 zombies. I'm assuming you're probably back at your apartment where you're working on all this stuff. So where do you go from
right.
there?
Um, I guess we can clothe them in some way. So, like,
They have assassin's clothes and masks, so that's kind of good already.
oh, that's good. But we could give them some form of makeup just in case. I don't know. If anyone has got
Oh.
Maybe just some cloaks to keep them well better obscured.
sure.
While we're doing that, since that's gonna take time, Regu, is it possible for you to do some sort of alchemy to give me, like, fill up some of these arrows with something that you think might be useful?
Yes, I want to try that. Um, can I try a couple of different things here, Jeremy? I make some alchemy checks,
Yeah, let's
or
see.
because
Procedure.
she has some hollow arrows and shit.
Yeah, let me see what these things are. So, poison kit. List of raw poisons. Do do do.
While that's going on, I'm going to ask Galen, excuse me, is Piff available? Um, Fire Lily has something she wants to say.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Uh,
Piff come out of
okay.
invisibility.
Anyway, go ahead and make a alchemy check while I'm seeing what the options are.
Okay. Can I get any assistance, maybe?
Sure.
I, I mean, I've only got Arcana. I don't know what kind of specialty you need.
You would
All
probably
right.
need someone else with alchemy or herbalism.
Do not have
Maybe some
either.
expert guidance.
I've got herbalism.
Okay. And the ideas I had, Jeremy, was one is I could take a few drops from my flask of weird purple sleepy water from the critter's naming cave. It maintains its properties outside of the source, and maybe make some sleep arrows where you hit somebody with them and they'll go to sleep. And the other one I was thinking of was maybe like an explosive arrow where it'll do some fire damage after it
I already
hits
have
something.
I already have alchemist fire arrows. You don't need to do those.
Okay.
Okay, so what we'll do then is that, yeah, you can, if you get a decent roll, then you can essentially make sleep arrows. And so the way it works is assuming you hit, then they would have to make a Constitution save, and then if they fail their save, then it will essentially knock them out.
Okay. And
Now,
you were helping me, Dave, and giving me a little expert
that
guidance.
might maybe go the other way around, or because what were you using to make those? Because I got a 7 in herbalism kit.
I've got a 9 in my alchemist's kit with a
All right,
+1
well, I'll
alchemy
help you,
supplies.
and I will offer my expert guidance.
Excellent.
Oh, and a question for you, Jeremy, because I just noticed that in one of my vials, I've filled it with some of the poison or disease water from the cult fountain. Can I pour some of that in there? Because it seemed like it still took effect.
Yeah, so basically that would be a standard poison. So if you hit if you hit with that, then they have to make a DC 10 Constitution save, and if they succeed, they take half damage. If they fail, they take full, and so it add an additional 1d12 damage.
And because it's a small vial, I mean, it says that it's supposed to hold up to 4 ounces. How many arrows can I fill with that? Just out of curiosity.
That sounds like probably four arrows.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
So yeah, so it's basically a 1d12 poison, DC 10 Constitution save, and half damage on success.
Okay.
That's a pretty nice roll.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you're able to make the sleep arrows. It'll be a DC. Let's see with that roll. Probably a DC 10 DC 15 Constitution save. And if they fail, then it will render them unconscious for up to an hour. Um, but obviously that will stop taking effect if they're attacked or if their buddies go and shake them and that kind of thing.
DC 10 what save?
DC
Constitution.
15 because I rolled I rolled a 31.
So it's a DC
Uh,
15 for you. It's a DC 10 for Oreo.
DC 10. Well, what kind of save is it though?
Constitution. So they have to make a DC 10 Constitution in your case, and then they'll take full or half damage based on the results.
Okay,
Okay,
and
so the
then
poison arrows are
And
DC
then the other
10.
thing
The
is,
sleep
though,
arrows
is
are
that they're
DC
actually
15.
poisoned. And what that means is that they get the poison condition, which gives them disadvantage on some things like attacks.
right, but and then the for the sleep arrows, are you how many do you want to give me for the arrows? Because I've got 10 on me.
Hold on. What I was going to tell you though is it'll take you an hour to basically make enough for 3 arrows.
That's
Right,
plenty.
just three.
If you no, that's plenty. I mean, if you're cool with that, that's a full hour for three. That's fine.
That's fine. That's fine. I can do that. I was hoping to get a few more in, but if we only have an hour, then yeah, I can give you 3 DC 15 sleep arrows.
I think the
And
DC 15 is for you. For me, it's DC 10.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's
the DC
the
15
sleep
is for
arrows are
the
DC 15. The poison arrows are DC 10.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
And it's the enemies who have to make these DCs.
I know. Right.
yeah.
I'm just putting it down. Okay, so,
Okay,
all right.
Now, one
awesome.
thing to keep in mind is not everything is susceptible to sleep versus poison and whatnot. So it'll be based on their resistances and all that. And some things might work better against humans versus Kylon, etc.
You know, I mean, I just happen to have hollowed arrows, and I've yet to use it in this campaign, so I figured this would be the one time. If it works, it works. If not, it doesn't.
Cool. And from what you can tell, sleep and poison will probably be far more effective against the humans.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So while that's been going on, Fire Lily talks to Piff, and Piff, it appears I owe you an apology. My understanding is that I have judged you unfairly. It seems that your kind are not so prone to violence as I'm used to back home. So I will try to do my best to put my past experiences aside and judge you on your own merits. So once again, I apologize for my previous actions.
All right. Don't worry about it. Happens. But yeah, I'm gonna be a good guy. You don't gotta worry about me.
All right. Fire Lily kind of sheepishly flits away.
Okay. All right. So an hour passes. Obviously, Ragu and whoever's helping Ragu are busy during that hour. Is there anybody else doing anything?
Um, well, I guess I was helping Ragu, so that's not really an option.
Okay. Anybody other than Ragu and Pico then?
No.
Okay. An hour
Oreo was making
passes.
your poison arrows with us.
You have your poisons in your arrows. So what do you do?
Well, I've realized there are a couple other things. One is we do have items that Gimbel's had handed over to Gimbal a week ago to identify. We could go see if he's got those. Maybe they'll help.
I believe that
Uh,
was a week after we finished our long rest. The week hasn't technically passed.
based on
I
my,
thought we gave it
oh
to
no,
you
you're
on
right. Yeah, that's showing as the 23rd. I was looking a
Mm-hmm.
little higher and thought it was before the long rest. Never mind. Um, that being the case, the only other thing is far more trivial, which I guess can wait. But yeah, I was realizing that I still got to talk to the Apothecary Guild. Um, but yeah, we'll put that off.
Fair enough. All right. So your hour passes. So once it's over, what do you do?
Guess we head to the Blackstone Blade.
All right. Alrighty. Alrighty. Did I forget anybody this time? Is everybody on the map?
I am, but I can't see myself.
Can you focus just to see where if I can see my token?
Oh,
There it is.
okay, I
Yeah.
found it. Yeah.
Okay. So you find yourself at the Blackstone Blade. It's, I think, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not as dark as this map would depict. But nevertheless, they have turned on, or basically filled up the lanterns, and you still see some light from candles from the inside. It is fairly dark in this area because of all the buildings. So what do you do?
Do you want to send somebody sneaky to see how to get into the basement of the building?
I mean, I would volunteer, but I also am now aware that there's a lot of very sneaky familiars in the group too that can probably do an even better job than I could because they're invisible. So I'm just saying I'm not the only one now.
Yep.
Yep. I could go ahead and try to do some scouting, unless you want to have um, Piff do any of that. No, for the sake of expediency, since we don't have a familiar
Oh,
token, I was
okay.
just going to drag a copy of me over for that.
Okay, fair enough. I thought I had left an extra.
No. Let's see. Does this one have visibility? Oops. Oh man. Maybe Piff would be better for this. The way my computer's running right now. There we go. I guess I can make this work. Um, how tall is this window? Is there or is there a windowsill?
There is a. Are you talking about this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a window seal, but it's a large display window. So you can see the armor sitting displayed behind it. And from what you remember before, if there's anybody behind the desk, they'll have a line of sight to it.
Well, Fire Lily's invisible right now, but gonna go ahead and land on the sill and look inside. Okay.
So he goes and flies up, and for some reason, he's fine right now, but he has a bad feeling.
Hmm. All right, but everything looks normalish there. So, wait a minute. That's
What could be the
interesting. Are those doors behind those two armor things?
They are, but
Huh.
the armor is actually placed in front of the doors.
That's quite interesting. All right. Um, so Fire Lily will tell me that mentally, and I will also relay that mentally. That there are two sets of armor with doors behind them.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, what's the possibility of us finding a way into the underground below this building through the tunnels that we've already explored?
This is fairly far from the tunnels, but it's not impossible.
Okay. Just another thought if we cannot find a good way in here.
So anyway, Pico, you went around and you definitely saw a door in the back. You saw the planters. One of you found a note under one of them in the past. Although I guess you're familiar, wouldn't know that. The door is definitely closed, and it has a sign that says "No Trespass" on there. But otherwise, you see debris in the back and not much else.
Okay. Based on the initial reconnaissance, then, so it looks like we've got the main shop. Looks like there's hold on.
You're muted, or you're muted.
Not muted. Probably got some sort of audio problem going on.
He says he has the audio problems going on.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna try to restart it. Of course. Just one thing out here real quick. Okay. So the impression.
I think he's resetting or something.
There we go. Is this better?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Um, so the impression I'm getting is we've got the main shop top floor. floor. There There seems seems to to be be evidence evidence there's there's maybe maybe a a small small room room towards towards the the back. back. And And then, then, based on those doors and the size of the building, it seems like to the left and right there must be rooms. But there is the shopkeeper inside. Um, maybe somebody want to go in and distract the shopkeeper, and we can try and get the back door open.
I can go in. What type of distraction are you looking for?
Just normal asking about armor or weapons or something like that. Just being not necessarily making a commotion, but being noisy enough that quiet work in the back might not get noticed.
Okay.
I might be able to help with that. I know lots about weapons.
All right, then
Maybe
yeah,
with
let's
both of
go
you
in and
then?
talk to him.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, as you approach, you can
Are you
see.
coming?
Now your audio is acting up because
Oh,
I'm here.
sorry. As you
There you go.
approach, you can see that the shop is open because it isn't as late as the map would have you believe. And so the front door isn't open, but you can see it kind of swinging back and forth, and the shopkeeper is kind of looking as you approach. So what do you do?
Okay. Go ahead and go in with my friend Galen.
All right, Galen, are you going in as well?
Yep, I'll head on in.
All
Okay.
right.
And as we enter, I start in my loud, booming voice simply because I'm loud. Um, you see, Galen, and this is why we're going to get you a nice weapon. We're going to find you a good one that you're going to love to use. Yeah. And we kind of wander up to the shopkeeper and it's like, hello, shopkeeper. We
Hey.
are going to be perusing some of your weapons to try and find the best one for my little friend here. And I put a heavy hand down on his Galen's shoulder,
Hmm. Your friend is
just talking
small.
loudly.
I'm not
What's that?
sure how big of a weapon you can have, but we do have some finer, small finesse weapons. Like we have some rapiers and short swords and daggers. What kind of weapon are you interested in? What's your name?
I'm Galen.
Galen. Well, it's good to meet you, Galen. What kind of weapon are you interested in? You look interested to get close or fire from range?
I
I'm
think
more
we're
of an
going to be.
at-range person.
Ranged, I see. So, are you thinking more longbow, crossbow, short bow? How strong are you? You look kind of weak from here, but I could be wrong.
I'm not
Perhaps a light
super strong.
crossbow. He's a little stronger than you might think he is, but he's uh, he's a little afraid to get his hands dirty. I'll get him into that though. He'll be using two daggers at the same time very soon. I just got to get him a little trained up first,
Oh
Then
yeah,
start talking about um, you know, different models of crossbow. Brasiri would know more about that than I personally do, but
fair
just
enough. So,
loudly.
So what I'm going to have you guys do, since you're trying to keep them occupied and you're trying to sound like you're really interested and everything, I'm going to go ahead and have you make either persuasion or a deception check, or maybe performance.
Uh,
Either of those three would be fine based on your approach, and you guys can obviously help each other. So go ahead and give me a
Okay.
roll.
I can do a
I'm
+8
definitely giving you
persuasion.
advantage.
Yeah,
What's
give
that?
me. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I can just do persuasion if you give me advantage.
I've got a 0 in that, so yeah, I'll give you advantage if you've got anything better.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, you convince them that you guys are sincerely looking for weapons, and you guys start talking about different types of weapons. And Galen, he has you approach, so he can talk to you. And so Pico, you can hear that they're all talking excitedly about different types of weapons, and they're all being very loud about it. So what are you gonna do?
Okay, I'm gonna check this door cautiously. Does it seem like is it locked?
It's a pretty heavy door, and it's definitely locked, and they probably spent some decent money on the lock.
I'll try and give myself some expert guidance on this and try to unlock it.
Okay, go for it. You work on the lock, and obviously you're trying to keep people from noticing you while you're working on it. So go ahead and give me a stealth check, but you have advantage because of all the noise.
Okay. I'll take that.
Okay. Yep. You quickly pick the lock, and you manage to do so, and you don't hear any changes from inside.
All right.
Oh, let me open the door for you. You haven't actually opened the door yet, though. So, what are you gonna do next?
um, shoot. I'm going to have Fire Lily tell Devok and Oreo that the door is unlocked. Um, let's see. I'm trying to remember when we were here before. Did anybody come out that door?
Yeah, or actually no, I don't think you've seen anybody going in or out the door, but you have seen people meet in the back near the door.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try and quietly open it.
Okay, so since this is probably can be considered as part of your stealth from your picking, so go ahead and use your previous stealth roll, and you open the door, and you suspect that it might have a tendency to squeak, but you lift the door before you open it, and manage to avoid the noise.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and have a peek.
Okay. You see a hallway. You hear a bunch of noise, and you hear Ragu and Galen as well as a shopkeeper on the other side of this door. You hear hammering coming from this direction, and you don't hear. You hear maybe a fire from this direction. Like not like something's on fire, but like a fireplace or a stove or a furnace or something like that.
Right. Um, well, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and listen carefully over here, and I'm going to disguise myself as a guard just for the heck of it. Do
Does
I
that
hear?
require vocal intonations, or does it
Actually,
have a vocal component?
let me see.
If it's an eldritch evocation, no.
Uh, it says verbal and somatic. Um,
So yeah, in that case, you would actually have to make another stealth roll because you would actually have to make a incantation.
I'll skip out on that for the moment then.
Okay.
I'll just, so I'll listen. Do I hear any signs of anybody through this door?
You're listening. You hear the little bit of the fire. Every once in a while, though, it's very faint. You'll hear a squeak.
A squeak. Does that squeak sound familiar at all?
It almost sounds like hardwood floors when something can like press one of the faces versus the other, and they kind of rub against each other.
Hmm. Um, I'm gonna have Fire Lily turn into a rat and meet me, and then I'm gonna have Fire Lily look underneath the door.
Okay.
So let me.
He does so, and the squeak seems to be coming from behind here. And in the room, can you see the room?
Yeah.
In the room, you can see that it's some sort of workshop. You can see an anvil. You can see, you can see the source of the fire. You can see tongs and various tools, and so on.
All right. I'm gonna try and take a look under that door.
Okay, you do so, and you see someone behind a desk and a chair, and they seem to be every once in a while they'll rock back and forth, which kind of moves the wooden panels underneath them, and that's where the squeak is coming from.
Hmm. All right. I recognize that lady at all?
I don't think so. She is. She seems to be writing in a book, and you can see the room. There's some sort of bookcase, and in the corner you can see some barrels and a basic chest, and some potted plants.
All right. Guess I'll look. Well, shoot. No, I guess I wouldn't be able to tell anything from here. I guess I'm gonna back off and have a peek towards the forge.
Okay. So yeah, you're looking around, and it seems fairly normal. The tools are well used, and it looks like somebody was working in here recently, which is why it's still hot.
What's the deal with this door down here, just south of
You see some light coming in from the bottom, and possibly, and you can hear Galen from underneath there.
Oh, okay. If I peek under, I bet I see the base of the armor stand.
Yep.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna go over to the right door over here.
Okay. And on the other side there, you hear hammering.
Okay. Gonna look under that door.
Okay. You can see somebody is actually working on the anvil. He seems to be hammering some sort of hot metal, and you can see various pieces being laid out as he works. And then you can see a door to the south.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and back out. I'm gonna have Fire Lily go out, return to everybody, or well, to Oreo and Devok. On the way, switch to a Raven, but basically let them know that there are two side workshops and potentially offices, but there's people in them. There's no way to do this infiltration without having to take people out.
Okay.
And
So as you're telling Oreo and Devok that, you can hear Galen and Ragu still talking to shopkeeper about weapons.
all right, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of make my way back out. Won't lock the door, but I'll go ahead and probably try and close it if possible.
Okay. Well, the situation has changed a bit, so go ahead and give me another stealth check.
All right.
You still have advantage.
And by the way, Char's with you, so you can tell him anything to get me a message if you need.
Okay, so you close the door. You manage to close it the same way you opened it with very little noise. So what do you do?
I guess I'll go ahead and loop around and Devok, I don't suppose I could have you go in and ask if they're done yet because you guys still have to go to, um, I I don't know, the herbalist shop.
Sure.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I go in and ask if they're almost finishing up.
So Galen and Ragu, you see Devok enter and ask if you're almost done yet. And the shopkeeper looks over, but we just got to the good part. What do you guys
Yeah,
do?
we were in
He's
a
already
deep
there.
dive conversation about the differences between a rapier and a saber.
We can wrap it up in the next couple minutes, but yeah, we can let's just finish up here and then
Okay, well,
we'll head out.
All
while
right.
they're doing that, I'm going to ask Oreo, uh, and if there were any sort of hidden entry on the outside, do you think you'd be able to spot it?
Yeah, I could give it a shot. What roll will I have to make? Well, no. Can I? Do I have to first sneak to do it if I intend to do this in a very casual, like not conspicuous way?
Um, you'd have to sneak if you don't want anybody to know you're in the area. So, like, if you're in the
Okay.
front, probably not, because people are in the front all the time. But in the back, if you don't want to know people are, if you're hanging out in the back of the shop, then you'd make a stealth roll.
Okay. Well, in order to investigate for secret doors and stuff, I have to really get up close and stuff. I don't know if that's gonna make it look suspicious even in the front. That's what I mean.
Oh, that's fair enough. So yeah, stealth check makes sense then.
Well,
Okay.
given the way it's set up, too, one thing I can do to help is I can watch one end and Fire Lily can watch the other. If either one of us spots something, I can have Fire Lily go ahead and quickly deliver a warning to Oreo so she can act casual.
Okay, so I guess that'll give you advantage.
I already had advantage. That's more, I
Oh,
guess, flavor. So,
Okay, fair
cool.
enough. Is that 26 from you, or is that from
No,
earlier?
no, I haven't made it. I
Okay.
was waiting to. Hold on. Um,
Okay, so yeah, you start looking around and trying to act casual or get out of line of sight when needed, that kind of thing. All right, so where are you looking?
I guess once every side of the walls. So
So okay, so go ahead and give me a perception check. Okay, you notice that actually right close to where you're standing, in the wall, there's a small opening, kind of like a little window, toward the bottom there, and you can see it's just big enough that a person can crawl through it. But you also notice there's trash and debris in front of it, which is why nobody spotted it before. But it looks fairly odd. You suspect it's probably actually meant as a hidden entrance.
can I just check with the trash and see if there's any signs of Kylon maybe likely leaving from this spot?
Yeah, you check, and you notice a hunk of stone, um, and the stone looks a lot like a human hand.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know how far off Pico you are, then I should probably wave you off to kind of come closer if you can see her.
all right. Go ahead and step
And then
on over.
she'll,
Yes.
once you're in the alley officially, then she'll show you the spot and the hand and everything.
Oops.
Yep, it's basically right in front of Oreo.
Interesting. All right. Well, in that case, well, I guess I'll see about getting everybody
Well, do you
out
want
of
to
there.
send in you want to send in Fire Lily? Maybe just to
Yeah,
confirm.
yeah, that's a good point. I'll go ahead and put Fire Lily back in wrap mode, and actually no, I'll go with Imp for this.
Okay, so yeah, he squeezes through and notice or sees a bunch of crates all over the place. Um, However, one of the things that you might notice is the floor is awfully scratched up, as if the stuff is moved around a lot.
Okay, well, looking carefully at it, yeah, do the scratches seem to go in any particular direction or indicate something like maybe this thing specifically or
You get the impression that it's these pieces that keep getting moved,
all right.
but they're unfortunately way too big and heavy for Fire Lily to do anything with.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at the door here. Peeking under, I assume that
You see the person still working.
yep, okay. All right, well, I'll go ahead and actually looking carefully at the ground too, in addition to the scratches, do I see evidence of like claw marks and stuff?
You do see some small claw marks.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and have Fire Lily get out, and it's and it was like a crate that was being moved.
Yeah, it looks like it. One of those large rectangular crates.
Yep, definitely signs of a crate being moved, and it does look like there's some signs of claw marks. So this looks like our thing. We're gonna have to quietly lift a that chest, but since they're under normal legit business, and it's pretty noisy in that room with all the hammering going on, we might actually be able to pull that off pretty well. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and get everybody else out here. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of casually walk past and sort of look and admire the armor in the window. I think I saw armor there. Um, let's see, that's the wrong token. This one's technically
We
me.
should be about wrapping up.
Okay. Basically, I'm going to make sure that where I'm standing at the window, I can see Devok and Galen and Ragu, and yeah, they're in range. And mentally, I'm going to let them all know we found an entry from outside.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
All
okay.
right. So what are you
Well,
guys gonna
thank
do?
you so much. Thank you so much for your help, my friend.
Should we?
I believe we will be running our last errand and then coming back with our final decision on what would be best for my little friend here.
Oh, excellent. Well, it was an interesting conversation to have with you. It's unusual to see someone like yourself pointing at Galen. No offense, that is so interested in weapons. So I see that maybe the world's in better shape than I thought.
Well, you gotta stay protected somehow. This
Exactly.
big man's not gonna be here all the time.
Yep. Especially in these times. Got to fend for yourself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. Well, come back when you can.
Okay.
So what do you guys do?
And it was so nice to
Uh,
meet you, sir.
yeah, I guess we'll just kind of head out.
All right.
Why are there two Picos?
Because
Uh,
one of them's a familiar.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
don't have a special token like there is for Char, so I just took a copy of me and rotated it slightly to distinguish
Yeah,
that.
I'll have to make a
That's
token
kind of funny.
for Piff and for Pico,
I think we
which is
had one for Piff. I don't know where it went off to
oh
go.
yeah, I did, didn't I? I wonder where he went. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I actually do have one for Piff. Is he around or is he still gone?
Oh, he's gonna be invisible. I'll let you know when it needs to be brought out. But for the
Okay.
most part, I think we're just gonna assume that Piff is kind of invisible and sitting by my shoulder.
Okay, so are you leaving as well, Galen, or are you still in the front?
Yeah, yeah. I'll head out. Oh, sorry, I thought I'd moved. I'll head
Okay.
out around the side.
All right, so yeah, you guys all meet up. So what do you guys do?
Okay, Well, Oreo found an entry on the side. I could go ahead and use a minor illusion as a little shield so that we can obscure our view, but we're going to have to get in there and quietly move a crate out of the way in order to get at the entrance. Go figure that a tiny familiar can't lift a crate that's like 100 times bigger than them.
Okay, I lifted it as quietly as possible.
So I guess we can work our way in then. So before we do that, when the coast is clear, I'm going to go ahead and basically cast a crate in the alley that just kind of blocks the view, so we can kind of move in without people seeing us go in.
Okay. So you cast your spell, and it looks like the little window is one of those you kind of pull open, but it looks stubborn. So it might be difficult to open it without making a bunch of noise.
Got oil?
I reach into my pack and pull my little oil unit, or my little oil can, out of my tinker tools and go geek, 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 geek. And
Okay.
then I put it back very quietly.
You apply it.
I'm also going to suggest that trying to open the window should be timed for the hammer blows.
Okay. So in that case, whoever opens the window would have to be someone with the strength of at least 12, based on how stubborn it looks. And you can make a stealth check, but you have advantage. Advantage.
I will offer my expert guidance.
Okay, would that be me? Or you?
Yeah. I'd
No,
assume you're gonna
that
be
would be you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking, just checking. All right, and check, not safe.
No, it's a stealth check.
Oh, stealth check. I thought I
Yeah.
need to make a strength check. Okay.
Yeah, you're strong enough. It's just are you able to time it correctly? And since it's stubborn, do you wind up pulling too hard? That kind of thing. So it's stealth. But you have no problems at all, and you pull it open and without any real issues, and you now have a gap that is just big enough for a humanoid to crawl through. So I'm assuming you're crawling through it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is anybody not going?
I don't think anybody would be not going.
Yeah, makes sense for us to all go in. Um,
Okay, so you find yourself in a room stuffed full of crates. You can hear hammering on the other side of that door. You can probably see the flicker of the light coming through. So what do you do?
I quietly
Uh,
point, because I think you said over here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I quietly point to that crate.
So it
I
looks
go
like you'd
over.
have to kind of push this one out of the way, and then move, and then kind of pick this one up or push it to reveal whatever's underneath.
Mentally, I'm
All
going
right.
to recommend that we team lift the crates to
Okay.
move them.
So I'll get on one side of this big crate, and instead of pushing it, we'll lift it up slightly and move it to the side, and then set it back down gently. And then we
Yeah,
can pick this one up and move it over here gently.
yeah. And again, as far as like setting down and stuff, we'll probably want to time that for the hammer blow.
Okay, so
Okay.
these are rather heavy. So the first thing I'd have is you can probably have between 2 to 4 people. Actually, with this, to get around this, probably 2 people. So you would basically pick 2 people. You would make a combined strength check to see if you're able to lift it instead of pushing it. And then, assuming that goes fine, then you would make a stealth check.
Okay. Who's up
Hmm.
with me?
How buff are you, Oreo?
Not buff at all.
Sorry, say it again.
Not buff at all. I'm at 0.
Devak, you might be strong enough.
I'm relatively buff, I think.
Yeah,
It's your strength.
you were the big heavy armor.
Two.
Yeah.
+2. That's decently
So
strong.
14.
Okay. So I'll roll. Are you gonna give us some expert guidance on that?
Yes.
Sure.
Actually, is there a way for me to help them with so here's my thought. If they can even get half an inch off the ground as they're attempting, I want to throw ball bearings below it so they have some means of maybe rolling it.
Okay, that's reasonable. So, Devok, who rolled the 20?
I did.
Okay,
Gregu
so
does.
Devok, go ahead and add your roll, and then you guys actually can roll with advantage, so you can take the higher of your each roll, the roll
Oh,
each.
okay.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. I rolled my
So you got go
4
ahead
as
and roll
well.
again, Ragu, and then because you have advantage as well. Okay, so that's a 20 and a 15, so that's 35. Yeah,
Plus
it
4
plus
for
oh, it's over
guidance.
40 with the d4s. So yeah, you were able to move them easily. And so the question is, can you move them and put them down and time everything? So go ahead and make a since both of you are working on it, it'd basically be a group stealth check of 2.
Although, if Oreo put the ball bearings in, do they even really need to do that part now? If that was actually helping them?
That's actually a good point. Yeah, actually you're right. So actually with the ball bearings, you actually don't need the stealth check. So we'll go with that. All right, so you move the crates, and once you've done so, you see a fairly large trap door. It's actually, instead of being like 5 feet by 5 feet or something like that, it's actually more like 10 feet by 5 feet. Um, and the trap door appears to be it appears to be latched and locked.
Okay. Well, if somebody could deal with the latch and lock, I will go ahead and take out my little oil can from my tinkerer's tools and
Yep,
oil these hinges.
I can go for the thieves' tools.
Allow me to offer my expert guidance.
Can you actually help me with advantage more so? Cause just want to make
I can do
sure.
that too.
So let me do that.
Okay, so you managed to unlock it.
Oh, sweet. I was about to roll the. There
And
you go.
what you
There.
wind up seeing is you see a ladder that leads down into a hallway. And I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. So let me go ahead and delete you guys. Oh wait, is it on this map or on another? It's on another map. Okay. Do do do. All right, there you go. Everybody should be here. Yep. All right, so you wind up crawling or coming down, and you see this hallway. You can see well. You can see on this side thick metal doors. You can hear the sound of scratching and growling. And then on this side, you see regular wooden doors in stone frames. And that is where we're going to end the session.
Well, this is reassuring and ominous at the same time.
Oh boy.
Uh, Reassuring in that it's not a giant dungeon crawl yet. Ominous in that this is probably a densely compacted danger.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can deal with that.
Yeah.
All right, so that is, what would that be? 350, 700, 13, 1350. So,
Oh, by the way, Galen, pretending to rob you is what my character would do.
Yeah, of course.
all
No, I
right,
like that. That was fun.
Oreo, you didn't miss it all, did you?
I only had one epic fail at the beginning, but I don't know if it would be counting as uh if it would necessarily count the one with the when I used the fate point on the cake situation.
Oh, sure. We'll go ahead and do it. Pico, did you fail at all?
I don't think I screwed up. I think my stuff was actually rolling pretty well tonight.
And Ragu, did you fail?
I don't believe I did, no.
That's interesting.
I think
You're
I
having a
failed.
good night. You failed a couple of attacks. And Galen, I don't. Oh, you failed on one thing, I think. All
I
right.
don't think so.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering then. All right.
Was there some bad persuasion roll or something that happened earlier?
Um,
Well, do you count my gaff with that one amnesic guy?
no,
No, I don't
yeah,
think
that
so. All
I
right.
don't think I
Yeah, I
failed.
didn't either. And just
So
I got a
then
wow out of Dave.
for session 46, you get 1,700 experience points, 350 from encounters. Obviously, social stuff counts. And 1,350 from exploration, which includes finding clues and information. Oreo and Avok get 175 from learning by failure. And